All right, we got John Rourke.
Yeah,
This
buddy.
seems to be the only guy going to the border and actually doing something other than taking pictures. You've been on Mr. Celebrity on TV as of late.
Please.
Blue Line Moving
Yep.
helped out with all that.
Yep.
Also, the hurricanes down here.
Correct.
Thank you for sharing some of your time.
Yeah, man, of course. Thanks for having me back on again. It's awesome.
Yeah, so you did a lot with the hurricanes.
Yeah, man.
How bad was because here we didn't really get hit too bad,
No.
but you with Blue Line, I saw you had a bunch of posts if anybody needed help.
Yeah.
The places that did get hit, how bad was it?
Devastating. Completely devastating. Homes completely flattened. One of the things I said was there wasn't a roof that didn't have something missing from it that I could see. Like, everybody's roof was messed up, like missing shingles, a hole in it, part of it missing, the whole thing missing, like every single place. And in the places that weren't bad, there were still missing pieces. You know what I'm saying? But the places closer to the ocean, just
What got hit
complete
the
devastation.
Where got hit the hardest?
Myers area.
Yeah, Fort Myer Beach, Sanibel Island, Pine Island, all the outlier islands crushed.
Oh yeah, and Fort Myers, those people didn't leave. They stuck. A lot of them stuck it out, right?
Crushed, bro.
But did a lot of death, or they?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what the actual count wound up being, but a lot of people did leave, though. I mean, it wasn't like, I don't think it was like a Hurricane Andrew situation at all as far as like death is concerned. But yeah, there were a lot of death only because the people in some of the outlier areas didn't expect it to get as flooded as it did. And they got completely flooded out because as it made its way across the state, it started flooding the rivers up the state, right? And I think it's the St. Johns River, and all of those are flowing down and started to flood out the areas combined with the water being pushed in from the hurricane and the water coming downstream just flooded places out that were like inland, miles inland, completely flooded out.
So if they didn't get crushed by
Arcadia,
the actual
crushed.
hurricane, they just got buried with flooding.
Yeah, they got some hurricane damage, but the flooding, like Arcadia is a place, for example, that's inland that was completely wiped out. Like the roads, you had to drive around Arcadia to get through, but the roads were completely washed out. One of the, I guess, a good thing is that a lot of the real bad devastation that occurred on those islands out there were wealthy people. Most of the people weren't living in those homes there. And the people that own those homes, for a lot of people, maybe were their second homes. But those are people that could definitely afford to take a hit like that. And, it wasn't like it just roared through
Like a
single
mom and
family
pop
home
area,
neighborhoods,
yeah.
although it did do that.
Right.
Like,
but
don't get it twisted. I'm just saying, like, where the really, really bad parts were on those islands, obviously was, wealthier people. Not that it makes, if you lost someone, it's terrible. You were injured, it's terrible, obviously. I'm just saying
Right.
from a financial standpoint.
right. Point being, it's better than
Didn't hit a
hitting,
poor
like,
area,
a poor area
right on the
where
money.
You
where-
got the shittiest roofs ever.
Yeah, like
and-
Hurricane Andrew down, hit down in Florida City area and down in there where not a lot of money. There obviously was, but not a lot, and it was just people got crushed.
Well, did you see? Pull up tab 3. Did you see Indonesia got hit today with a 5.6 category earthquake?
No,
Was it
and I
fucking
usually know
earthquake?
about
yeah,
that
earthquake.
stuff too.
Yeah, he'll pull it up. They got crushed, and that shows you what.
162. Where in Indonesia though? Exact Java Island, huh?
Yeah, 162 people have died after a powerful 5.6 magnitude earthquake struck Indonesia on Monday afternoon.
Thank God we don't deal with earthquakes here.
My brother-in-law and my father-in-law are out that way, out by Vietnam and Thailand. I
Rob,
think
play
they're in
that video
Thailand
up
right
top
now.
there. Go up.
Right here?
Yeah, play that, and then blow it up. I think the place fucking. Look at that. Does that have any sound?
Just like the weird.
Is that like real, or is that like showing what could happen?
No, it's real. It's real for whatever reason. It's just being stupid. Like the whole place is shaking. Whoa! Look at that. Damn.
It's like freezing, but
And it's got like
probably 'cause-
funny little music too.
Yeah, it's like funny music as your
It's not
place
like
is
a
coming.
video
down.
game or something. I thought like Super Mario Brothers.
How high is a 5.6?
that I know. I don't know.
I mean, it's like a medium.
Yeah.
Like a 7 or higher really is like a banger. Like if 6 is like a whoa. 7 is like San Francisco back in the day. They're in the World Series. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was like a 7 point something, and that was a huge one.
When you Google the pictures, because it kind of shows what it looks like for like a poor community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, just leveled.
It's like
Level.
Haiti. Like
Like Haiti.
crushed.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And the Clintons, I mean, thank God for them. God bless the Clintons. They really went in there and just completely rejuvenated that island.
You sound so compassionate. when
Oh
you
yeah,
say that.
I mean, they rejuvenated
They
the
were.
island so well that they're leaving there in droves. That there's basically more Haitians living here now than in Haiti.
Oh, you mean they're not living there?
Oh no, they're not living there.
I thought
okay.
they fixed it. It's fixed.
Yeah, I,
No,
thought,
they-
I thought they built one of the mansions
Built
there
mansions there.
that Bill got
It was-
$500K to talk for.
I mean, they completely rejuvenated the island. I mean,
Fucking unreal.
they're never been better in that island.
What is up with all these school shootings?
People are nuts.
This year has tab 2.
People are
It
nuts.
happened today again.
Yeah,
4
where?
dead to Idaho.
Yeah.
I've been working. I literally,
Yeah.
and I've usually watching the news.
Yeah,
For
4
Idaho. Oh, the 4 Idaho college students.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I've heard about that. That wasn't like a school shooting. I think that weren't those people. Those people are stabbed.
Maybe they were stabbed. Yeah.
Yeah, and the kids were like sleeping in the room. They didn't even hear them. And
Read that, Rob. 4
4
University.
University of Idaho students were killed in an isolated target attacked with an edged weapon like a knife. But they were saying like it was weird because somebody gets stabbed. Of course they're gonna yell. I mean, you're getting stabbed. Like,
Yeah.
Well, how the fuck didn't somebody the other 3 get up and?
Well,
have you ever
School,
been to a
university.
college town before?
True.
So have you ever been blackout drunk, like KO'd, X's on your eyes,
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
literally
The
no one
answer's
is
yes.
waking you up?
The answer's yes.
Maybe then that's what it was.
It's like-
That's what I would think.
right. When I see university, I put that in the school category.
Yeah,
But there was the shooting at that
the nightclub.
that club in
Club
Colorado
Q.
Springs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think last week there was a school. It's every week. It's something.
Yeah, I mean, and
Mental
and unfortunately, people believe it's the gun wakes up in the morning, gets out of bed, and straps on its shoes and its belt, and then heads off to work where the gun's job is killing people. That's what people actually think that the gun can do that. They don't understand that if I put a gun on a table and no one ever touches it, it will just have dust will eventually just completely cover this thing. It will never move. Nothing will ever happen to that.
You mean it can't walk?
Ever.
Right.
I promise you,
Hey,
if no one messes with it, it will be there forever.
See how many school shootings this year versus 2018. How much do you think? How many?
School shootings this year? All right, so this is a fabricated number, okay? And I know I'm going to be, oh my
we're
God,
just
they're
having
talking
fun,
bad about school shootings.
No.
So suicides are counted as school shootings. Any bullet that winds up on campus coming from off campus, like if you're in a bad neighborhood and where there are shootings out off the campus close by and bullets wind up getting on the campus, that's also a school shooting.
That's
A
stupid.
teacher goes to school and kills himself in the janitor's closet, that is a school shooting. So you got to understand, there's an accidental discharge, which there was at my children's school. I'm not going to name the school because there's crazy people. But at my kid's school, the police officer's practicing his SWAT moves or some shit and accidentally forgot to clear his weapon and fired a bullet through his office and then through a classroom, and it wound up getting lodged in a bookcase.
Whoa.
So that was cool. So that was fun, a little notice to get, so that's a school shooting though.
Now, what you just said, this is a school shooting, that's a school shooting. 3 years ago, was all this considered a school shooting?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
This has always been a school shooting.
I
So-
thought maybe that all these things are now school shootings to go against the agenda
Well, it
to
says
take away
a
the
kid brings a gun to school
take away rights.
in his backpack and accidentally fires a bullet off in his locker room. That's a school shooting, right? So if we're going to talk about legitimate school shootings, which means someone came there with the intent to kill adults and children, like a school shooting that we all think is a school shooting, right?
Right.
So what are those numbers? That's what you want to know. That's what I want to know.
How would you even type that in?
It
accurate?
says 46, but again, that's just going by what he just said. It's not telling us the exact numbers.
So let's just say that the real number is 12.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 12 shootings. So just being a recruiter for the Army for so many years, right? I talk to youth all the time. high school kids, college age kids. That was my job, right? Is to get inside their heads and try to get them to join the Army, right? So I know those kinds of kids better maybe than most people know those kinds of kids, right? Like I've talked to the bullied kids in school, in one of the schools that I was a recruiter in, that the guidance counselors used to rely on me, honestly, to help them out with some of these bullied kids.
What is a bully kid?
A kid that's just, is very away from everybody, is very, doesn't like to talk to people. And other kids have, reported him as being bullied, meaning made fun of, pushed around, whatever the case may be. The kid is, has gone into a shell. And because of bullying, right? So I would talk to
instead of putting
kids.
him in boxing, put him in karate, let's go have him sit with a counselor and talk about his day.
Right. So think about this, though. It's like, if bullied kids have great parents, too, right? You know what I mean? Like you can be a great parent to your child and those great parents have kids that are being bullied, right? Like, so, but for the most part, from my experience, it was parents that were never really involved in the kid's life. So, like, get him in karate, get him in baseball. Like, he's 16. He's not getting in karate. He's got to pay for that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they're not teaching UFC classes in school. Like, it's a baseball, basketball, football. Like, if you don't have real guidance and leadership in your life when you're growing up, you're probably not going to be an athlete anyway, right? Because you have nobody steering you down, throwing that ball with you when you're a kid, shooting that basketball with you. So you're going to be a loner, more likely. Video games, computer stuff, like being inside all day, not going outside and breathing real oxygen and running around and, being creative.
But
and
why do
using
they
your
call it
mind.
bullying? They never called it bullying before. Why is it all fucking this bullying?
Well, because everything has to be, everything has to be propped up these days because nothing can just be real, because if there's bullying, well, then you can create anti-bullying.
Right.
Create a budget.
Yeah.
Another job.
And and it is, kids do get bullied, right? So like when I was in elementary school and middle school, I wasn't this outgoing on the news, like, doing soldier stuff. Like I got bullied too, right? Like whatever you want, but I got in fights because of it.
Correct.
Like that, like I got bullied and then until I didn't get bullied anymore. Until people realize, well, if I talk shit to this kid or make fun of him for whatever reason, because my parents didn't have a lot of money when I grew up, so I wasn't wearing Polo and Tommy Hilfiger and this stuff. I was wearing clothes from JCPenney's.
But look at what that did. It made you persistent. It made you strong.
No doubt about it.
Strong drive.
I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying you would get picked on, especially if you go to a school that I went to where every kid that I knew of was driving a brand new Mustang or a brand new Mercedes or a brand new Jeep Wrangler and I'm driving a 1978 Volkswagen Rabbit where I mowed lawns and saved up money and then got a job as a busboy and bought like a $600 CD player, which was worth more than the car. You know what I'm saying? And I thought I was riding out. And I'm parking next to, a F-250 jacked up diesel. And I'm like, my windshield wiper fluid squirt to the side.
I had a bright blue Acura Integra with a broken window, no air conditioning in the summer, but I had a
AC.
I had a stereo, bro.
Hell
I had
yeah.
a stereo.
Of course you do.
Nobody wanted to get my car.
Was it a Pioneer?
Yeah, I could pull it out,
Pioneer,
and then I got a DVD one.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to. So when we would go to parties,
Yeah.
I'd have one friend with me. Everybody would go in the cool cars.
Yeah.
But the problem I have with all this bullying and everything else, it doesn't teach you how to be a man.
No,
like,
I
I
get
had
it.
to deal with that. Nobody got in the car.
Yep.
You feel like a loner. But then one day you say, you know what? F them. I'm going to work my ass off, and I'm going to have 10 better cars than them, and so on and so forth.
Did you have a dad in your life that used to whip that ass?
I had a grandpa in my life that used
Or
to
someone?
whoop that ass.
Right? So
And
there
a
you go.
5'4" grandmother that could probably kick his 6'7" ass if she really wanted
Correct.
to.
That makes a difference.
Yeah,
Yep.
and
You know
I
what
got
mean?
my ass kicked plenty of times.
That makes a difference
does.
in being bullied and having that person to go home to talk to about it, or to throw a ball with in the backyard and just get away from it or whatever, and not having it, and then going home into a dysfunctional house, and you're a loser in school and now you're a loser at home.
Right. And the
It's a
difference
cycle that,
Right, and the difference was, and I think you'll relate to it as well, and Rob, maybe I got the belt plenty of times or the
Sure.
gravy spoon,
Yep.
but right after it was done, it was like it never happened.
Yeah.
All right, you learned your lesson,
But
to go to McDonald's, is to go do this. You learn. And it was such a learning lesson that you think twice the next time.
That always goes back, though. We always talk about it. I said, in life, you have a mom. You hope, right? I know there's people pass away. There's things that happen. But a mom and a dad. A mom has a different role than a father.
Yeah.
And you need a father figure, a man.
Yeah.
A man.
I'm not your buddy.
Whatever it is, to guide you, to give you tough love, to do all that type of stuff. And there's too much anymore where either dads are gone, they're in jail, they might have died, unfortunately, God forbid. But people think that a household could be raised by a woman. No offense to women. I think they do a great job and they are there for that, but you need that father figure. And that's what's missing. And I think that's why there's so many problems with the youth, because they don't have that. You know, you do something wrong, you get punished for it.
Yeah.
Unless you go to New York or California where you can not get punished for anything.
The only way that you can survive that kind of life without having a strong father figure in your life is your mother has to be your father and your mother. Okay, she can't just be a half-ass mother. So that's a big problem, is like, because there are plenty of people that had no father growing up, but had a mother that was also a father too. Very involved in their life, made them do their homework, made them read their books, stayed on them, cooked for them, cleaned for them, took them to practice, threw the ball with them. You know what I'm saying? Did all of that
And
stuff
worked
for
a
them.
job.
And worked a job and did both jobs, and those people turned out to be success stories. Right? So it doesn't necessarily mean you have to have a father figure, but you damn sure, if you don't have one, have to have a mother that is also your father too,
And
right?
how
So
rare is that, right?
it's very rare, but it is out there. But for the most part, it's these kids that just don't have a father figure in their life, a male role model that will tell them no, and will tell them when they fucked up, and will just shoot it to them straight. And you know what I'm saying? If you call your mom a bitch for some reason, or a teacher a bitch, and your dad pops you in the face and you say, "What'd you do that for?" And you say, you know, that's what bitches do. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to call your mom a bitch? I'm going to treat you like a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I learned that lesson real quick.
Yeah, man. So, and I think a lot of guys have, you know what I mean? Like, and I surely did, you know what I mean? I mean, now it's child abuse. Back then it was a fake jab to get my hands up so he can crack me in the ribs.
And we talk about it all the time.
And guess what I didn't do?
Never
that
did it
shit again.
Nope.
But that's
never called a woman a bitch again, though.
Nope.
But that's why you have what you see going on, because if you can go into a store and I can rob is it $999? I think I can get up to. I can't get to that. So if I can do that, and I can go to somebody's small business, right? Small business, a mom and pop shop, and steal a 6-pack, a 12-pack, a 24-pack, and keep doing it, and there's no repercussions, why would I stop doing it?
You wouldn't.
You wouldn't, and that's why it's happening.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of it too is, and you know, and then my dad would hug me after too. I just want to add that in. So my dad, you know, my dad, God rest his soul.
Sure.
People don't think my dad was like some psychopath. He was a New York City cop. He's amazing. And I miss him every day. But he taught me valuable lessons about being a man. I worked my ass off. Okay, that's only one way to get to where you need to go. There's no shortcuts. You got to work your fucking ass off.
Yeah, and I'm sure Rob and I will say the same thing. My grandfather was a great man, but he lay it down, and if I wanted McDonald's, mow the grass. Mm-hmm. You want McDonald's, shovel the snow.
Put
up a lemonade
out the garage.
Stand. Like I had a snow cone stand, lemonade stand, work, and then I'll take you.
That's correct.
You want your allowance? That grass better be done, and it better be done right. Yeah. For when I come Sunday, you're not getting $10.
And you better have all your other shit done.
Yeah.
That you're supposed to have done. That I'm not supposed to give you something for.
Yeah.
Like make your bed, make sure your clothes are folded, make sure there's not shit all over your floor. You know what I'm saying? Make sure if you have your own bathroom or you share a bathroom with your brother and sister, make sure that shit's clean. You know what I'm saying? Like
I remember at 16, I didn't know anything about jail, and I just remember I got in trouble. Speeding ticket, something crazy, and I knew I would get killed when I got home, and I wanted to go. I asked in the cop car, "Hey, can I just do a couple days in there?" Because my grandfather was still alive. Yeah, and I just knew. I knew when I got back, you're gonna fuck up your career as boxing and football. What are you doing, you idiot? You know.
Yeah.
I'd rather go in there.
Yeah.
We talk about a question, and John maybe can help answer this too, and Tommy. You know, you talk about working hard, right? That's how we were all raised. Work hard to get what you want. And you see now where it's kind of the total opposite with the younger generation, at least. And, you know, you go to the stores now, right? Just at Walmart the other day. It's all self-checkouts. Like, I think there's like 2 literally workers that actually ring your stuff. So it's all self-checkout.
Mm-hmm.
What happens now let's just pretend all these companies do go to self-checkout. Everything. McDonald's, everything. What happens to that workforce or so-called workforce there is? Like, what do we do with them? Like, what happens to those people?
They got to get smarter. They got to want more from life, man. I'm sorry. It's not my fault that you only can be a cashier in your life. Although there are limitations for some people, and maybe, but overall, you know what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a cashier at Publix and you're like 31, okay, and you're a dude, you know what I mean? Unless you've been working at Publix since you were 16, and you're like, bro, I started, I'm 16. I like this job. I'm going to keep doing it. And you retire at 41 with whatever years. Like, I get that, right? Sure. But if you're like just going from job to job, like it's your fault. Okay. There's a library. You can go read books. There's the internet. You can make money doing anything, bro. There's so many ways. People get paid over $100,000 a year just recording themselves cooking every day on YouTube, like with an iPhone. So like, I don't want to hear that shit, man. Like, the reason why all these stores are going to automation is because the freaking taxes are so high, man. Like that's why all the businesses are leaving the country, because they pay so much in taxes, right? Like it's just like if the taxes are going to be so high under Biden, we have to find another way to cut costs, and they're going to eliminate people. That's why there's always layoffs. You know what I mean? It's like, first thing they do when times get tough, right? And times get tough when the taxes go up for everybody, people start laying people off, man, or creating
Amazon, Twitter,
FedEx,
Walmart,
FedEx is getting rid of people before Christmas,
and UPS too.
Before Christmas.
Yeah.
When have you ever heard that?
Friend in Jersey works. He's like the top, pretty high up with UPS, and he said they laid off. These are like Eastern District, 5,000.
These are like delivery people, or is
just I don't know, people,
just
man.
In general.
But think about when in your life, and you got to really think about it, because maybe there's been a time or two, right? But I don't know. But for the most part, I've only ever known FedEx and UPS to be in a hiring frenzy before the holidays. Like, they can't hire enough people.
Yeah, remember they used to put the ads out all the time for 3 months?
And people would do that in hopes of maybe being able to stay on with them because they pay so well.
Benefits,
and it's such a good job, right? Like, you're working for UPS as a driver, you're doing great. And it's multifaceted too, because you're probably in good shape too.
Hell yeah.
Right? Like, I know
I've never seen a fat UPS guy.
No.
And I'm just saying, not that's part of the job. Like, you're getting paid, but at the same time, you are working out. Yeah. So that's a bonus.
I bet
it is a bonus.
Can you imagine being that guy and you're like, shit. Oh, 4 tires, not again. Next stop.
My one buddy works for them.
Chair.
He's been there 30 years or 23 years, something like that.
How many herniated
Skinny
discs
as a rail, bro. This dude is skinny as a rail.
I think the only
hilarious.
way, I think it's going to go completely, machine.
Of
the
course.
workforce will be fucked, and then I think it becomes you're going to have humans evolve to human and biotic.
But
a mix of like you're half human and half chipped up.
That's nuts.
That's the only way that
I
see.
Crazy.
But it's not really crazy. How are you going to compete against?
It's crazy because my mind is just like, I'm trying to get there, and it's like I can't get there now.
I agree with all of it. I'm just wondering what happens. Like, physically think about it right now. Let's just pretend all these people just lost their jobs, even though they don't want to work, but that job no longer exists.
Yeah.
What physically, literally happens to this big group of people?
He's talking about
Mama's tit. Like, they go to Mama. Mama's tit is the government. They want to suck on that titty.
Well, that's what they want.
That's what the government wants.
Well, then you have to lean on the government for everything.
So then it becomes that they just get paid money. Yeah.
Bro, imagine the government gives you housing, so your kids go to public school, so the government gives you education, the government gives you a place to live, you have an EBT card, the government gives you food, the only thing the government fucking doesn't do for you is breathe for you. Yeah. And I guess if you get sick enough and you can't breathe on your own, the government will do that for you. Well, so like, that's what they want, bro.
We'll turn it to China. Hey, U.S., hey, Biden, hey, whoever. Oh, you want to run for president? Here's $100 million interest free. You borrow, we don't want anything. You need another $50 million, let me know. 2 years later, remember that $150 million I gave you?
Yeah.
Interest free. Well, I kind of need a favor now.
Sure.
I don't want any money back. I just kind of need a favor now, if you could, because I did get you in office.
Remember that?
Remember
the
that
whole thing?
the $150 million you needed. And I think that's how it will kind of become where, hey, remember, I made sure you had that house. Remember, I made sure you got that car. Well, now I need this or I need that. Yeah, that type of shit. And then eventually, I think it will go half man.
You basically just said politics like in a nutshell, man.
Pretty much.
That's pretty much what it is. It's like, man, I'm a big Jets fan. Next thing you know, I'm like in the present, the Jets suite, watching the game with 10 of my closest Jet fans, all on the arm.
Yeah.
How'd that happen? You know what I mean? Like,
and I wanted to ask you, why now is all this Jewish issue being talked about? I know that the vaccine totally messed up the menstrual cycle, and in the Jewish community, they live and die by that menstrual cycle to keep their own going. Now all of a sudden you have all these people attacking, Jewish people. Do you have any idea like where that came from? Is it because they're against the stick? Any idea? And
it's funny that you say that, man, because you're kind of right, and I never really even gave it much thought. But there is a lot of like anti-Semitism stuff flying around, like Kanye West, like Kyrie Irving, like it's like coming back up. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know if there's a meaning behind it, but I kind of feel like when superstars are that big are getting caught up in stuff like that, then like, is there some kind of something else behind it? Like,
see,
I don't know what that would be, but I know.
People think Kanye is such an idiot, but I think he's super smart. And I think the reason why on Lex Friedman, he kept going Jewish, because there's something behind that. And
he wants to be like a Jewish person. Did you hear what he was saying about how he's jealous of the Jewish people because of how they conduct business, how they only do business with family and people like mine. They stay together. They invest in their family members. It's all about the family and about all of that, man. And like he was on talking to Charlemagne the God about saying how jealous of all of that he is. Like,
and then did you see that Kim came out with a clothing line and he got 10% or 1%, and the other 90% went to who? I wish Seacrest or somebody.
I wish the Kardashians just
right off. Kanye comes out with a clothing line for her, designs it and everything.
Yeah,
his wife of kids.
Whatever she is now.
Yeah, but still, it was done then. He got, I think it was 5%, and the other 95% went to the company. And he
it's
goes,
his own fault though, man. Like
it is, but he loved his wife, so he didn't expect
Kris Jenner. That's
the devil right there.
But I guess I understand what you're saying about like that's his wife, but I mean, who she is though also, right?
Yeah.
Like she was also somebody else's wife, and then before that she was somebody else's wife that too. So you got to take that into account. Like, I love this woman. Right?
Love blinds you too.
But it does, and that's what I was getting to, is that it's like, it's hard when you see the past, so your mind wants to tell you, bro, be careful, but your heart wants to get rid of your mind.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And just say, and then, bam.
Well, guy
you get jacked, and that's where I kind of feel like
with the Jewish thing, a guy at Penn Station got stabbed like crazy.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, anti-Semitism is a real thing, bro. Like, but you don't hear anything about it because it's always you're racist or anti-black stuff. You never hear about anti-Jewish stuff ever.
Oh, no, we can't talk about that, right?
No, I mean, and one thing, think about this, like even actors and movie people, if they have a Jewish last name, they change their name to not be a Jewish sounding name. And I think the reason why I've read before was because they feel like their anti-Semitism won't get them what they want. I'm never like, have you ever noticed that?
Yeah, I do. Yes, I have.
Like it's very prevalent in Hollywood, like that people with Jewish last names will change their name to something else.
A lot, and there's a lot of big actors.
Them being Jewish.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? Like it's that bad? Like, then fuck being in Hollywood, bro. If you gotta change your last name, you gotta hide who you are to do whatever it is that these people do. Fuck that, bro. I'll go pick up garbage, bro. I'll just do that with my name on the back of my shirt, Rourke, All-American.
Because you're basically saying, well,
fuck that. I don't need that kind of money, bro.
F all my ancestors that got
I can't do
that got slaughtered, right?
I can't
and now we're here now,
Nope.
and now I'm going to change my name.
Oh, no.
and just basically take a knife and turn it into all the people that died.
No. I'm screaming my name on a mountaintop, bro.
Yeah.
I just never understood.
I don't care, man.
I never understood the hate. I mean, it's.
I don't care.
The percentage of Jewish people, I think, is like 2% or something in the United States of America, and their ancestors were slaughtered and all this type of stuff. I know it comes down a lot to.
Never.
They say the money. That's why people despise Jewish people. But
no, they're smart.
Yeah, I mean.
That's what Kanye West was saying. Like he's jealous of the way they structure their contracts. He's jealous of the way that they can put business deals together. He's jealous of all of these things because they do it so precise and so to their advantage, and it's because they're smart.
Well,
that's why he kept saying that.
And that is what it is. Is like he, or at least this is how I felt like he explained it.
I think you're 100% right.
And it's just he is like, why can't I get to that? Right? Like I need to be where they're at, and he feels, even though he's a billionaire, like far surpassing the way that he did it was right.
Yeah.
Like, let's just be real. Like, it's not right for everybody, right? Like the Jewish culture, I guess, in his eyes, has figured out a way that's foolproof. Like if you do it this way and you keep it the way that we've been doing it forever, you will be successful. Like your parents were successful, like their parents were, right? So like, but he's found obviously a very good way as well. So it's just the way that he got to it. Like if he was able to rap, he was able to sing, he was able to do those things, that's, and write music and do that. That's obviously much harder than like knowing your numbers or like being a lawyer or a doctor or a surgeon or a business owner. Like you'll find more people can do that.
But then once
Kanye West did
accomplish the amount of money and things that he did, then the accomplishment and the money is no fun anymore. I don't think, when you don't have your family around you, and then you're looking at a bigger picture. You want your kids involved, like he always talks about his kids.
The whole reason you're on this planet.
The whole reason you're on this planet is just to reproduce. Reality, right?
What do animals do?
That's all they fucking do. My dog just got done hammering his pillow girlfriend for the last 3 hours.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, it's just
what they do. There's nothing you can do about it, right? So, I mean, that's what we're here to do.
Yeah, I think Kanye just wants that. You can have all the fame,
course he does.
all the money, but
don't you want it?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Don't you want that? That's what I want.
What fun is it to go make $1 billion and have nobody to enjoy with?
That's
and everybody around you is just around you because you have $1 billion or because of your name or who you know, and you don't have anybody around you that actually loves you or big family members around you that you can enjoy with.
Someone that has your back no matter what.
Whether the press hates you, whether you have
Doesn't
zero.
Matter. You can always go home. They're going to give you a hug and a kiss.
Right.
Say, I love you.
I think that's what he was seeking for throughout all that.
That's what I have. That's why I do everything I do. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's for them. It is. And it's to set an example for them so they know that nothing's out of their reach. You know what I mean? Like I always say, bro, I am a nobody. I am nothing special at all. I have a high school diploma and I barely got that. Okay? Like I was bad in school. I didn't listen to shit. You couldn't tell me anything, right? But at least I was smart enough to know that. And that's why I joined the Army. You know what I mean? And that's changed my life, right? But even after I got out of the Army, when I first got out of the Army and I went back in, I had a break in service, I was still an asshole too. Even after I got out, I was just an asshole with military experience, right? So I still had more growing up to do. And it's just like people now are raised way different than you and I were raised. You know what I'm saying? It's just they're raised by phones and they're raised by iPads and they're raised by computers and they don't even go outside and play football or baseball or hide in the woods or do anything, bro. It's just like
it's an iPad, iPhone, or computer.
And it's just like, and people aren't having as many babies now. Like people are having less children. Like I remember my grandparents, like everyone's grandparents, like 7, 8 kids.
Yeah.
People now are like, you have 4 kids? What? Are you nuts? And I'm like, bro, but everything I do is for them. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's you gotta lead by example, man. It's not hard to figure out.
Last thing about Kanye that they really hit him on, when he did the Gap thing and he put the clothing in crates and stuff, if people just had a brain, he did that so that people that are poor that maybe can't hang every piece of clothing they have on a wooden hanger, he was showing an example that, look, this is for everybody. You can get Yeezy or whatever it's called now, whatever the deal. It was a good thing. You know, he was trying to relate to the community.
Yeah.
But instead, they turned it into this whole shit because he put it in the bed. Like, leave the guy the fuck alone.
Bro, you know how hard it is to be perfect, man? It's like that's what they expect, right? They expect him to he can't do shit wrong. You're not allowed to make a mistake. You know, like, then these are the same people have no idea what it's like to have a spotlight on you 24/7, man.
And then
every single thing is critiqued.
He comes out and he says about the guy that they let off with the fentanyl pills. How that happened is unbelievable. I don't know how that's not attempted murder at 50 or however many fentanyl pills he has. And he comes out and the guy was, I don't know what he was, whatever nationality, and now he was racist. He's racist because he's saying, you're going to let this guy walk out after 50 fentanyl pills? It could kill somebody. Yeah. That's murder.
Lots of people, right? Entire fucking state.
Murder.
Millions of people.
And you just walk out of jail. So I get hit with 50 fentanyl pills and I can just go right out.
100%.
And had I not got caught, half of the 25 of the 50 probably would have been dead.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
The guy that, what was that one shooting that just happened? Idaho? Was it Idaho? The football players?
Oh,
I believe
Iowa.
I believe he got released. One of these.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
One of these shootings that just happened recently, like they released him. Like he went to jail and out he came, and I'm like, what? Like how? How is that even possible? It's nuts, man.
Who's mandating that?
It's Soros, man. He gets the prosecutors elected.
Soros.
He gets the prosecutors elected, and they don't prosecute crimes, and then people keep recommitting crimes because I don't know if anyone knows this or not, but I'm just going to put it out there that criminals, what they do is they just keep committing crimes. It's kind of a thing that they do.
The guy in Philly, the Krasner, they're impeaching him. You saw that? He's
the
district attorney for the city of Philadelphia, and they were talking about, you know, how the crime rate's gone through the roof and the shootings and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Fucking Wawa closed.
And he says he's done nothing wrong. And they're like,
nothing wrong.
Oh, of course not.
They're like, look at the numbers.
Nothing wrong.
Who's behind all that, John?
Soros
and
the Democratic machine.
And what other states are like that? Like everybody knows New York, California,
Baltimore.
Baltimore's like that too.
Oh my God, Philly, Baltimore,
Chicago.
Name.
Chicago, you can walk in and walk out. Wow. Who?
L.A. I mean, all those places, big cities.
Wow.
They're shitholes, man.
And how do you end that? Wait another year.
Prosecute people.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Put San Francisco, like, bro, like you can literally, you can do anything.
I know.
And they're going to let you out.
Weston Boucher was in here, and he had come from San Diego. And he had lived in L.A., then he went to San Francisco because it wasn't so bad. That got torn apart.
Oh, my God.
And he's like, the only place left in California where it's not insane is San Diego.
Yeah.
And he's like, if it gets any more insane, I'm going to Florida.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, and he's a model and all this other stuff, which is prime for him. But between the taxes and the crime and the madness, he's like, I don't even leave San Diego. He's like, I just stay in San Diego. It's the only place that it's actually policed.
And that's because they have a big military presence there, too.
Probably. Oh, is that what it probably?
Yeah, there's Navy base there. There's all kinds of military.
They should take all the
there.
people that they don't arrest them, but the people that are doing that, they should take them from that store and they should put them into the elite neighborhoods and let them go in through their houses and see if they like people robbing their. I mean, think about it. That's basically what you're doing. You're going to mom and pop shops, and even if it's a 6-pack, a 12-pack, that's still their livelihood, and you're able to take it and go like this on the way out.
Yeah.
And nothing done.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah. So it's like, why shouldn't we just put you? Go ahead, go to that house right there. Oh, you can have whatever you want.
And if you beat the shit out of them, then they'll have you arrested.
Yeah.
They'll sue you, and they'll own the store.
Yeah.
You know, you'll be out on the street trying to fucking steal a 6-pack from them.
Unbelievable.
I think it was you and I on text that we were talking that it won't stop until one of these political people that somebody goes up to their home, raids their home, takes all their shit, and doesn't go to jail. Then when it happens to somebody like that, then it will go to the Senate. Like, hey, maybe you want to do something. But until then, what are they going to do? Nothing.
Well, I mean, just look what happened with Paul Pelosi. They're trying to make that seem like that guy was someone broke into his home at 2:30 in the morning.
Got it. For somebody to believe that,
I mean, please, man.
I'm for whatever's best. You know, and you could be left, right, blue, purple, green.
Paul's about that
What's
dong,
he got?
bro.
No security.
That's what I said.
Paul is about that dong. That's what Paul's about,
but
bro. Okay.
Nobody questions, fine and dandy, whatever the story is. they live in a nice house in a nice neighborhood.
What's
You're
got no
telling me there's no
security?
cameras?
Bro,
There's
it's
zero
the
cameras.
Speaker of the House's house. The whole thing is covered in cameras, bro.
Correct.
From the Capitol, they have cameras that people watch that house, right? Like, he opened the door for the police and then walked back to the attacker?
Yeah, makes no sense.
And they're in their underwear? What? Oh, in San Francisco?
And didn't he just get a DUI and smash his car?
And there was somebody in the car with him,
Oh.
which has been left out of everything.
And then they dropped it, and then people made a stink, and then they picked it up again, but it's dropped.
Yeah.
They're not.
2:30 in the morning, it sounds more like a lover's quarrel to me. And do you have a hammer in your kitchen and like a junk drawer?
No.
I do. I have one in my kitchen. A lot of people do. My wife's always putting pictures up or doing this or that. I have like a small hammer that I have in a junk drawer with a screwdriver and some other bullshit, right? Like a lot of people do. Maybe you don't, but maybe you do. You don't even realize.
Tommy doesn't.
There probably is.
If I knew how to use a hammer, I would, but I don't know how to build anything,
Bro,
so there's no
they're
reason
in the
for-
kitchen arguing.
Yeah.
They're both hammered and they're arguing over something. You know what I'm saying? And like it gets out of control and something happened. That's what it sounds like to me, bro. Like, but then hearing like he opened the door and then went back to the guy and then the guy hit him with the hammer, like when the police showed up, like
And he changed the story
But
3
it's
times.
they're in their underwear, like
even if you don't,
what?
even if you don't believe that story, even if you don't believe there was a guy, there was a gay, even if you don't believe that, you still have to look at the fact that where is the cameras? Where are the?
Yeah.
Has to be.
Bro,
Everybody has a Ring fucking doorbell now.
Yes, you're
There
telling
has to
me
be.
that someone's able to break into the
no
Speaker
way.
of the House's house
There's no way.
at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, did you see where the glass was located from the door that was smashed? The glass was on the outside. So, if you break in and you're hitting the glass is going inwards. Right? You don't hit it and then it goes backwards. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the video from over top, there's glass all the way down the steps. That's because someone broke the glass from the inside. Like, I don't know. I'm not an investigator. My dad was a cop and my sister's a cop. You know what I'm saying? But
That's crazy.
that's not crazy to think that though, right? Like, don't ban me on social media. Don't try to zip my mouth because I'm saying something that a lot of people think might be the case, right? Like
to me, it
is
sounds
it
like you're
crazy to
just-
say that?
You're just asking a question.
Is it Nancy's not home? He's in San Francisco, which is where is the gay capital of the world, right? I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with being gay. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. It's just the media that makes this about, he might be gay and it's gay. But San Francisco is widely known as is the gay capital of the world, right?
I was there, believe me. It is.
This guy is gay, right? And was also a pedophile. Okay, so there's that. It just doesn't it just sound like some of the stories you've heard before?
Yeah.
Like elites with pedophiles. They're married, but they are gay. Like, or does it seem more like that dude? Did you see that guy?
No.
Do you think that guy is capable of breaking into the Speaker, the third in charge of the United States of America? Okay? The president, the vice president go down. Nancy Pelosi is the president of the United States.
Ah.
You're telling me that guy who is illegally here from Canada on an overstayed visa, okay? That guy who worked at like a supermarket or did like something like barely has a brain in his head that can process a thought. He broke into the Speaker of the House. That guy did that.
Yeah, I forgot how close
And then
it is.
immediately got into his underwear as soon as he got in the house.
As if the Secret
just to make it
Service
weird.
isn't monitoring everything and so on and so forth. Come on.
Come on, man.
Come on.
Come on. And the border is secure. Don't forget
That's the
it.
funniest thing. Like, if you're going to do this, right, maybe you should not pick an illegal one, because you're kind of, you're playing with fire, but you know that they'll just cover it up and bury it in.
Oh, they're from Canada. That's not like a real illegal.
Yeah.
No. You're from.
that's
you're from
okay.
it's Canada.
Yeah, we're
It's
cool
like,
with Canada.
It's kind of like
Just
it's the same thing.
Hip, skip, and
Right?
hip, skip, and jump. Or
Yeah,
whatever the
hop,
fuck
skip,
it-
and a jump
there you
across
go.
the old pond.
Yeah. You find anything on this guy? I'm dying to see what I forget
Who?
what he looks like.
The Paul Pelosi dude?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I know he looks like a goofball.
I think I found it. Hold on.
Yeah, he's like a little blonde, like
Yeah.
ponytail. I think. Look, he was staying in like a old school. There he is.
Is that him?
Yeah, old double chin Donnie. That guy right there. There he is. That's the guy. He put together the master plan and was able to actually pull it off and get into the Speaker of the House's home. That's the guy that did it. Right there. Look at him. He's a regular old freaking Chinese spy, isn't he?
What do you think?
A regular old CIA agent here.
Behind closed doors, what do you think Pelosi's saying to him? You idiot! You got a DUI and crashed, and now you banged your boyfriend in the house and got
she
caught.
Just resign?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what do you think?
There you go. Yeah. She had to.
All of a sudden, this is it for her.
Oh, after a gazillion years.
Just this. You know what? This was it. I'm done now.
Yeah, right.
She's the best stock market person though ever, man. She
Oh,
knows
yeah.
all.
Oh yeah, are you kidding me, man?
she's-
She's never made a bad trade. Isn't that crazy?
Never made it back.
I've been bag holding a stock for like a year, bro, and I've been buying it down for a year.
Is there any
and
way
I
we
finally-
can see what she buys?
Yes, but not till 3 weeks later on that app.
Just follow her, you'll be rich.
Yeah, it's just 3 weeks delayed, which sucks.
Didn't Martha Stewart go to jail for some stuff like that?
Of course she did. But she wouldn't rat. She just did the time, and now
She took it on the chin.
yeah, man,
A real woman. All right.
yeah, she
All right,
did.
Martha.
But like, come
Gee.
on, bro. Like I've been bag holding a stock for a year, buying this thing down, and I finally bought it down to $1.67. This thing went down to 5 cents. 5 cents. All right, I bought it at like $5.69, and I bought it down, and I just watched it drop and drop. And drop and drop and drop, and I'm reading on stock twits, like people are like bullish, oh, it's going up. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, watch as I watch it go down and down and down, and then you get to the point where you just can't sell.
Bro,
You're like, I can't sell this thing. I gotta wait.
You gotta get good with Pelosi so we can get the inside.
No
tips.
shit.
I thought he got money from FTX, didn't he?
Yeah, they all did. That's why they were in Ukraine.
Yeah, he's running like hell now.
Hey, that stock hit $1.67 today, and I still was like, well, now I've waited this whole time, and I should sell it and just get my money out, and I'm going to probably do that, right? But I'm like, damn. Like I'm just like a typical degenerate right now. I'm like, I just need it. Can you just give me 10 cents? A little something for my troubles.
I am exactly
and watch
like
it's
you.
gonna freaking collapse.
I'm just like you.
Tomorrow morning.
And it's why my entire life I've stayed away from stocks.
I know.
Fucking big because I'm like you because
I
I'm like,
know.
no, I want at least what I spent back. It's gonna go up 10%. I know it will.
And I
I'll
do
just
good
get
on
buried.
some of them, but it's just this one. It's been a couple. Like I think if you ever have done, and I'm not some stock trader. I just
Play around a little
but
bit.
play around a little bit. But I'm like, I feel like I'm owed this thing to at least cash me out at 2, so I could feel good. Like, oh, I made $500-600. All right, that it's not worth the whole year I've been holding this thing, but at least I got something. But now it's like it hit $1.69, and I almost sold, and now I didn't, and it's like $1.62 after hours, and I'm like, damn.
They
Now
do
I'm
that.
waking up like hoping that when I wake up, it's not like 127.
I hope it's 128 for you.
No.
Now maybe you could clear this up for me.
Yeah.
Because I cannot get a definitive answer. If a president is indicted, not under indictment, but indicted, can he or she run for president?
Ooh. Yeah.
It's so mixy.
Yeah. I mean, you're innocent until proven guilty, as far as I knew in this country. So I mean,
if
he's
they
under an investigation by a grand jury. But I think that they would need a conviction, or maybe if they arrest him and charge him with a felony, then I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but
they're going after what?
It's
absconding or whatever, right? That's what they're looking to try to get with the special counsel or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking to get anything they fucking can get.
Can you see what you can find about if a president is indicted, which
I
is
think
probably
you can.
half
I
bullshit?
think I've heard you can run. I think you can run and be in jail technically. I'll look it up, but I think you can.
In jail?
I think you can be physically behind bars and run for president.
I mean, Joe Biden never left his basement, and he got elected, so it's kind of the same shit.
Man, what's the difference?
That was his prison.
Yeah, what's the difference?
Eating fucking mashed potatoes and chopped up peas.
Oh,
and
shit.
There you go.
What the fuck?
It says
from Insider, a very reliable freaking liberal hellhole paper.
It was a good picture, though.
Here's how Donald Trump can theoretically run for president. This is just through Google Picture. It's 9 a.m. Yes, this scenario is equally far-fetched. No. It's also possible, loggers told Insider, particularly given former president. That's not it. Hold on. Where is it?
If Trump landed in prison, nothing in the Constitution would block him from continuing the White House run, according to 9 legal experts.
So he can. The Constitution requires only that presidential candidates are natural-born U.S. citizens who are at least 35 years old and have been U.S. residents for at least 14 years. And practically anyone, even fictional characters, can take the first step toward the White House by filing for that.
But you do have to be able to obtain a top secret level SCI secret clearance. So if you can't get one of those.
Oh, here you go. The socialist presidential candidate Eugene Debs was incarcerated in a federal prison in Atlanta in 1920 when he won about 3.5% of the national vote. President Warren Harding later pardoned Debs, but he was able to run. So, see, he was able to run. He got votes.
Yeah, but he couldn't obviously hold the office because...
bro,
if you go and write my name in for president, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And 70 other million people, I'm going to be the winner.
Yeah.
Well,
even though I'm doing 25 to life or whatever, you know?
In 92,
Lyndon LaRoche also ran for president in 1992 from a prison cell after he was convicted of mail fraud in 1988. So
whether Trump could run for president?
Well, I mean, if I ever get locked up for some crazy shit, well, I know what I'm doing. I'm running for president every chance I get. I'll have nothing but time on my hands to figure it out.
That's interesting, though.
Every year, John Rourke.
So he's going to run, and then I heard Pence talking about running. Why don't you stab the knife in him a little bit more, Pence?
I mean, that's a joke.
Who else do you think pops up?
Ted Cruz is always a guy that's going to run. You know what I'm saying?
What about for them?
For the Dems?
Yeah, who runs for them?
I mean, I think it's going to be jumping Joe Biden. I mean, that's...
I still think maybe Michelle.
Kamala Harris, the Secretary of Transportation, your boy Pete Buttigieg.
You'll have Gavin Newsom.
Gavin Newsom, that's another one. He's
They're going to push him.
He's preparing for a run. I mean, no one good. Hillary Clinton? Roll her out back there on a freaking wheelbarrow. Here you go. And dump her off on stage.
I think they tested that one about a month and a half ago.
Of course, they've been testing.
Yeah, that's not hitting. I see Michelle popping up a little bit. Yeah, she's the only one that would be
She
a problem.
put on some weight, though.
Yeah, I saw a picture.
Yeah, she looks a little heavier.
She's like Oprah heavy.
She's Oprah heavy.
Yeah, she's going through that Oprah battle. Sometimes she's skinny, sometimes she's not. But if you're running for president, I would imagine she'd be in fighting shape.
Well, they got a problem. Unless
and not saying that fat people can't be president because of course you're oh my God, you're fat shaming her, bro. She's fat. What do you want me to tell you?
I think if she runs,
that's what she is. You're running for president, man. You got to look the part, dude. You got to be in shape. Man, I remember Donald Trump. Bro, Donald Trump's almost 80 years old. This dude's hitting holes in one. Go fuck off.
What percentage do you think that she runs?
Michelle?
Yeah. Because they got nobody. But they have nobody.
She's not, bro. They love their life.
Yeah.
Bro, if Kamala Harris is the president, Obama's the president.
Yeah.
If Joe Biden's the president, Obama's the president.
True.
He's the president, bro. He's the one that's calling the shots, man.
Yeah, I know.
Joe is just
He's just a fucking puppet.
He's just glowing, has his glowing eyes staring into space, reading whatever they put on the teleprompter like Ron Burgundy, bro. He don't even know what's going on, bro. He don't know these generals' names. He's forgetting those people. He keeps saying his son died in Iraq when he was by his son's bedside at Walter Reed Army Hospital. Where, he's just, bro, your own son died, and you just keep saying, "Oh, thinking about my son dying in Iraq." Your son didn't die in Iraq.
Yeah,
Stop trying to make it seem that way.
The cocktail that might have worked for a couple months or maybe even a year. I think that cocktail. I think he's become. He's built a tolerance to whatever cocktail.
Bro, the Easter Bunny was telling him to go places, and he was listening. He was listening to that a bunny waving him, telling him, "No."
I'd love to see that.
Here are the eggs over there, Joe.
Imagine that cocktail that they're giving him, and they're like, "Look, Joe, you got about 15 minutes, buddy. So one question today, and you got to go."
I mean, it's nuts. His wife like has to take over sometimes for him. He forgets what he's talking about completely mid-sentence. He calls people by the wrong name. You remember when he was asking for the congresswoman that just died?
Oh yeah.
Well, I think her name was Nancy. Nancy, where's that?
She's
Nancy, where are you at? Oh yeah, she's dead. Yeah, she died. A couple of 24 days ago in a car accident. So she's not going to stand up, Joe. Or when he asked the guy that was paralyzed to stand up, let everybody give you a hand. Oh Jesus, you're in a wheelchair. Oh my God.
Yeah, asshole.
Or when he checked his watch when they were loading the dead soldiers that died in the Afghanistan debacle, when they were loading their dead remains onto a plane, because obviously he had somewhere he needed to be. You can't be paying your respects to 13 soldiers that you had killed onto a plane. I mean, you got to check that time. Woo! Let me look down as if it was past whatever time he needed it to be. Was he just going to leave? What does it matter what time it is, bro? Even if you're late for something, are you going to just pack it up and roll out?
But
no.
I don't think he's in reality. I don't think he knows where he's
Bro, there's just one thing after the next, man. It's instance after instance after instance calling. Bro, I don't even want to talk about it anymore because I get so angry that people can't just call it what it is, man. He's not fit for the office.
They won't.
And it sucks to say that, man. I want him to do good. If he's doing good, I'm doing good, my family's doing good, the country's doing good. People are getting taken care of, right? But he's not doing good, okay? So it's hard to see what's happening, and no one has the balls to stand up and just say it how it is. He's not fit for the office of the President of the United States, and he's getting people killed because of it, okay? That is what's happening. And he's getting people killed because of it all over the world. He's getting people killed at our border. He got soldiers killed in Afghanistan. He's getting people killed all in Ukraine and in Russia. He's getting those people killed too. You know why? Because he's weak. He's a weak president, and he doesn't know what he's doing. He's not control of himself, okay? And he's making stupid decisions, and he's costing people their lives, and he's ruining families. That is what this man is doing. Period. End of story.
What is Stone
That
say?
is what's going on.
Remember when Stone was in? Stone goes, did Nixon shit his pants? No. Did Reagan shit his pants? No. Did whoever shit his pants? No. Did Biden shit his pants? Yes. He shit his pants, his trousers. Look. He's got those trousers on and that trousers because whatever they're giving him is making him shit. Remember that?
Yes.
Is he wrong?
No.
I mean, the dude's falling off bikes. He's climbing up stairs and falling down. He's what's up with the always trotting? Like he has to run like he's proven like, man, oh, that must mean he's macho or something. Like, I don't understand it. But what pisses me off is that his family allows it to happen and hasn't stepped in because they want that power, man.
Let the fucking, whether you like him or not, he's still a human being. Just let him go out, not in the fucking public eye. It's just wrong. Whether you like him or not.
It's not acceptable to the American citizens.
And it's wrong.
It's not.
And it's wrong.
It is wrong.
In multiple different ways.
And you know what? All the things that are happening right now are the things that they said were going to happen when Donald Trump was the president.
Yep.
Okay, what happened to World War III? Oh, we're going to get into World War III. And here we are on the brink of World War III with a full-blown war in Russia. Okay, in Ukraine, I mean.
All the stuff that you've done, you've been all over the news. Can you pull up his website, and then we'll get in. Can you recap the last 3 interviews that we did? If you didn't see it, go check it. Just a quick recap of Blue Line and what you've done, all the border work and Baltimore and everywhere else, and then we'll get into all the new cool stuff that you've done that's really excellent.
Yeah, so I own Blue Line Moving, bluelinemoving.net, www.bluelinemoving.net. We're a nationwide mover. Local, long distance, packing, unpacking, cleaning services, bulk trash removal, pianos, safes, you name it, we can do it all. And we pretty much have done it all. And that's what we do, man. And we're pretty damn good at it, if I do say so
And
myself.
you've moved some heavy hitters down too, right?
Heavy hitters, man. A lot of big names in the Conservative Party. I'm starting to refer to like Palm Beach County as like the new Republican Washington, D.C. All the heavy hitters in conservative politics are down here or close to here in Martin County as well. And celebrities that are conservatives all have a place down here too.
He moved our guys down. Who'd you move down?
Which one?
I can't believe I can't remember their name. The bet. They take the bets.
Oh, Barstool Sports?
Barstool Sports.
Oh,
yeah, he
shit.
moved him there. Yeah.
Yeah, Barstool.
Great guys.
Barstool
Great guys.
Sports, KFC. From KFC Barstool and moved him and moved his girlfriend. In New York, though, Westchester to another place in Westchester. I mean, I really wanted to get Portnoy. I heard he got a place down in Miami, but I think he bought it furnished. Obviously, I would love to be the official mover of Barstool Sports. I mean, my conservative thinking, I think, aligns pretty close with what Dave is all about, and that's how I market my businesses, through being a conservative and doing conservative things. And you know, I'm really not interested in moving you if you're a liberal. I'm just gonna be straight up with you. Like, I'm just not.
From what I hear, they're going to move down.
Well, of course they are. I mean, at the end of the day, you have a family to feed. Just because you're a liberal doesn't mean, you know, that you don't have family to feed and money to make. Like, at some point.
No, I mean the Barstool guys, like all of them.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I think
the reason why Dave moved down here is because of taxes,
right?
And he's very open about that. Yeah. On any time that it's asked to him about, you know, why he's down there.
And that's just a smart individual.
Of course. Why would you not?
I'll tell you a funny story about him, Portnoy. So there's a pizza place in Juno Beach that I love, and it's like a hidden gem, Willie's Pizza. Old Italian or old Colombian guy, right? He went there, did a review.
Oh, yeah.
Willie's this old school dude from New York.
Giving him shit.
He gave him shit throughout the whole thing, Portnoy. Once he goes there, it blows up.
Yeah.
Don't matter what, it blows up. So Willie, I was in there a couple days. He's in the hospital right now, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's had
that sucks.
Somewhat diabetes or something going on. But long story short, he only makes so much dough. It's perfectly made with the water. He has this whole filtration system from all this type of shit. So he only makes so much dough. So when he's out of pizza for the day.
Yeah.
He will not. He's old school, old timer. It's just him making the pizza. You can help out by taking the order, but you are not touching the fucking pizza. And he says it like it is when you walk in there. He goes, get off your fucking phone. If you're on your phone, get to the fucking back of the line. That's what he does.
I love it.
But Portnoy was there, and he
blew
it up, man.
Shout out to him.
Blew it up, man.
Blew him up. Everyone was just like, Portnoy was like, this guy. Like,
yeah, go for it, right?
Bro, why not?
Yeah, that's how it should be.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Shoot that shot, son.
Shout out to him.
Shoot that shot, bro. But that's good for him. I mean, but those are the kind of guys, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get with like-minded people. Like, I would love to be the official mover of UFC. You know what I mean? Like,
well, you're sure as hell on your way to that.
I'm trying, man.
All you've been on.
I'm scratching, I'm clawing, I'm trying to do anything I can.
So as of late, you go to Eagle Pass, Texas, right? Yeah. And you do a pre-checkout.
Cleanup. Meet with the sheriff, meet with the garbage people, meet with some of the town people, and just get a feel for Eagle Pass and where the trash is and where the hot spots are and what they need, you know?
And compared to your last cleanup, way worse?
Del Rio, way more trash in Eagle Pass, more trash than I've ever seen. Del Rio was just different because of the Haitians under the bridge. Lots of trash there, no doubt about it, but not even close to what is in Eagle Pass. Eagle Pass is like next level.
When you say trash, though, like what stuff are you finding?
Like
what aren't you finding, right?
Yeah. I found a dead body last time I went. Discarded clothes, shoes, diapers, feminine products. You know, they go to the bathroom everywhere. They had garbage bags. So what they do is they bring their clothes mostly in a garbage bag, dry. Then they cross the Rio, take off their wet clothes, take the dry clothes out of the garbage bag, put the dry clothes on, throw the garbage bag on the ground, and keep walking. So they have, full set. Shoes, socks, underwear, everything. Take it all off, throw it. Boom. And their IDs, they all throw their IDs away before they come across, or as soon as they get across, they'll throw their ID away. Bottles, water bottles. So a lot of the human smugglers now, they fill garbage bags up with blown up water bottles, and they use that for people to float on to go across. So you see a lot of those bags full of water bottles and wrappers from all kinds of food, needles, lots of drugs and pills of different kinds, condoms, lots of baby stuff, toys, stuff like that. pretty much everything, dude.
Jeez. Then you're done with that, and then you get called to go on the panel, right?
Yeah, Fox and Friends emailed me asking if I would be on a panel of 10 people to talk about the border.
Congratulations on that.
That was pretty cool.
So how does that work? So like from A to Z, because I always wanted to, like, do you know what they're going to ask you? Do you have any idea?
No, just going to be about the border and my experiences from the border.
So then you show up and take me from there.
So, yep, I book it through them, and then I show up, fly into Del Rio. And what was funny was I saw when I was getting on the plane from Dallas to Del Rio, walking on, it's a small plane, I saw Rachel Campos Duffy was on the same flight.
Oh, shit.
I didn't say anything to her, and I walked by, but I noticed it was her. And, you know, I'd never been on Fox and Friends before. I always wanted to be on Fox and Friends. So this was going to be my first time being on Fox and Friends. So when the plane landed, I got off. We were both waiting for our bags, and I introduced myself, said, hey, you're Rachel Campos Duffy. And, you know, I said, big fan. I said, I'm going to actually be on your panel tomorrow. I'm John from Jupiter, Florida. I did the cleanups and stuff. She's like, oh, my God, nice to meet you. And we got, you know, talking, and as we're waiting for the bag, and I said, oh, man, there's usually way more illegals in this airport at this time of day. And she laughed, and I kind of broke the ice. And I said, there actually is 6 of them. If you look right there, you see them? She's like, oh, my God. I'm like, and when you leave here, I wouldn't doubt it if you're sitting next to an illegal leaving here. And she's like, shut up. I'm like, no, I'm telling you. The last flight out of here I was on, 75% illegal. There were more illegal aliens in the airport than there were Americans, including workers.
Oh, yeah. I remember the last time you were when we played that, and you were in the airport, and it was all, they were giving them free tickets, cell phone, all this shit.
Oh, right.
There was more people in the airport illegal than legal.
Yeah.
And the legal people, they were just like, wait. And the illegals, they were like, come on.
Yeah, get them on.
You had the video. It's crazy.
Yeah, crazy. So I told her that, and she was like, wow. And then obviously, you know, my thing is, I was like, I'm big into food, bro. Like, I go to a place, I'm finding the spots, right? Like, I don't drink alcohol, so I'm about that dinner. Like, I don't go places and try to eat shitty meals. Like, I want to eat a good-ass steak, so I find all the places anytime we go somewhere, bro. It's crazy. Like, and all my friends know. Like,
they did the panel early in the morning?
Way early. It's Fox and Friends. Yeah. I had to be there at, I think I got there at 4 a.m.
Was that live?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. 4 a.m. I think I got there, and then...
How do they seat you? How does all that go?
So, hold on, I'll finish real quick the story. So I told her the places to eat or whatever. So then I get my bags. I'm like, see you later. So first thing I do is I'm going to this place, Rudy's. It's like a great barbecue joint. And I go there, and she was there. And I was like, you took my advice. What's up? How's it going? And then I finished eating, and I went to the hotel. And I'm checking in, and boom, she's at the same hotel. I'm like, are you following me? Like, what's going on right now? And
I would have been like, hey, can you give me the questions?
Yeah, right. So then I'm like, well, I'm heading out. I'm actually going to go to the border right now. And she's like, oh my God, you're going to the border right now? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I'm going to go out with Texas DPS. I'm like, well, good luck, like whatever. So next morning, I show up to the panel. It was in the Texas DPS hangar. So they had like a helicopter behind us, and they had raised like stools, and we were sitting in 5 and 5, and they had all the cameras and all the stuff behind you. You know what I'm saying? All lit up, and she's sitting there looking at all of us, and then like during the commercial breaks and stuff, we're talking about like our stories and stuff from the border, and then when we first got there, and then she got there, and we got set before the show started. We were introducing ourselves, and she was going through like, okay, you're John from Jupiter. You did the cleanups. You did this, you did that. We talked a little bit about it. She took down notes, and then she kind of went to everybody, took down notes about everybody and their names and stuff, and, found out about who they are and what they did. And then, you go live, and they kind of just, over the course of Fox and Friends, they kept going back to her in like, 3 to 7 minute increments. And then they would just keep doing hits back to her, and she would just go through the panel and say, B, you're a reporter from Del Rio. Tell us about your story. Here's the sheriff from Kinney County. Tell us about your story.
What'd she ask you?
She asked me about the cleanups and, the people that I seen coming across, and, why we think it's that way, stuff like that. Typical border, questions. But the cool thing was I was the only one that wasn't from the area.
Oh, wow.
So I had like an outsider looking in type feel, and I brought to the table like no one outside of these communities know like what you guys are going through. But I'm trying to relay this message of what it's like to live here, like, and that you guys are Americans too, and this is our country just as much as anywhere else, and you shouldn't be treated any differently than us, but you're having to go through this bullshit, and you're taxpayers just like us, and it's unacceptable. And like people should be able to sell their homes, and people want to move there and buy their home, and there should be able to be, you should be able to, walk your dog at night and not be scared that someone's going to run up to your house, or, you should be able to camp in your backyard with your kids and not worry about someone hopping your fence and trying to steal everything out of your shed, or come after you, or try to get into your house because someone's chasing them, or they're thirsty, or they've been shot, or who the hell knows what they're trying to do, right? Like, you shouldn't have that happen to you. And if that does happen, then someone should stop that, right? But no one's stopping it, right? Because they're not border patrol anymore. They're border processors.
Border processors.
It's all they do is they process people. There's no patrolling, right?
Not at all?
Bro, like,
I guess what's the point of
they're
this?
already undermanned. And then on top of that,
at some point you just got to be
500
like,
people cross an Eagle Pass at one time, a large group.
What are you going to do?
Bro, they can't just have 1 or 2 border patrol agents. They'll be there for fucking 72 hours.
And, mentally, emotionally.
12, 20 people.
And time. I mean, how much time can somebody give? If you got 2, 3 people, you just can't. It's impossible. And at some point you just say, all right, well, we'll process them and just, ship them to Martha's Vineyard, which was the funniest thing in the world. That was a great move.
Is this coffee in here?
No. You want more coffee?
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, maybe that is coffee, actually.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. They will. And thank God for him doing that.
Yeah.
And DeSantis and Abbott sending illegal aliens to other places in the country, because let's face it, like, they need to know.
Yeah.
Like, they need to know what it's like to be in a border town. Like, they're sending 5,000 people to New York, 10,000 people to New York.
That's
like,
nothing.
I saw 5,000 people down there last time I was there. In that town. Like, it's just crazy. At one time, I saw 12,000 people under a bridge.
What do they say? Like, I know maybe some of them don't speak English, but what do they say? Like, are they like, hey?
They're here for work. They want to what they want to know when they get here is, where's Border Patrol? They're over there. Thank you. And off they go. And then that's it, bro. Border Patrol is going to process them, put them on a van or a bus, send them to a processing facility. They're going to take down their information, probably fingerprint them, take pictures of them. If they need any medical services, that will be provided to them. They're going to get them up and ready and running, and then they're going to give them a ticket or a bus ticket to somewhere in the United States. Or they're going to release them out into the city, okay? And then they're going to go to an NGO, and that NGO is going to give them a bus ticket or a plane ticket to somewhere, okay? And
what's an NGO again?
A non-governmental organization, right? But what's funny about non-governmental organization is they're funded by government. Like, they get grants. And
How are they non-governmental?
Yeah, because they get money from the government for being a nonprofit. Like, so the government, instead of just giving the money directly to the illegals, they give it to NGOs, and then the NGOs use the money to basically give it to the illegals.
They layer it so it doesn't seem like it's coming directly from the government.
Of course.
I would assume, right?
Yeah, I mean, whatever they do, you know what I'm saying? I just know that's what they do. I don't know the fine details of the
logisticals,
how it really is, but bro, that's basically in a nutshell what's happening there. And there's whole economies set up off this shit, bro. Like, I have a document that someone sent me that Border Patrol are giving out to people that basically have, like, call this dude for a ride. Here are VRBOs that are cool with you staying there without any identification. Here are hotels that are cool with you staying at the hotel without any kind of form or ID.
Jeez, free concierge.
They're all good. These are the places that are good with that. Here's the list. Have a good day. Call them if you need a place to stay. Call them if you need a ride or whatever.
It's concierge service, VIP concierge service.
There shouldn't be a worker shortage with all the people coming over then. Where's the workers?
Yeah,
exactly.
You would think, right?
Oh, my God.
There's a worker shortage. It's like, well, who told you there's a worker shortage?
Well, every time you go to get something done, they say they're, can't do the tire, can't do the oil change.
It's a worker
shortage. One guy, only got this, only got that.
Yeah, it's a worker shortage. So everything's a worker shortage. It's just It's just government. It's just, you say, hey, why isn't this happening? And they say, it's a worker shortage. You say, why isn't that It's just, they always have an excuse for why something that is supposed to be working fine isn't working. You know what I mean? It's just like, it never ends, man. It's never like, maybe there's not a worker shortage, bro. Like, I don't know. Like, do you know, like, farmers? I'm not going to take the government's word for it because they're telling me the border is secure. And I've been down there and I've seen thousands of people cross with my own eyes, 100% not secure. If they're willing to lie about something that's so obviously false, right? That's so obviously people are coming into this country, clearly, okay? And they're lie about something that you know with 100% certainty is happening, and they're telling you it's not. That's like us looking at the sky and it's clearly blue and you telling me it's black, and you're serious, like you're sticking to that, and you are trying to convince me that it's black, and I'm like, no, man, it's blue. Like, that's my eyes. They're telling you that's what they're trying to do here. So like, if they will lie about that, then of course there's a worker shortage. And the guy broke into Nancy Pelosi's home too, and he was just there looking for, I don't know, a good bottle of wine from their vineyard. Like,
I do think there's a worker shortage, but not in the way
vaccines
that they're portraying it. I think that the worker shortage is lazy. They got their checks and then another check, and they worked from home or they're in their video games, and they figure, well, I'll just stay home and the government will send me another one and another one. Because I've been to multiple places, and I know other people where you can't get an oil change like you used to. You can't get your tires done like you used to. I see it all the time, every day. But then when you bring it to a higher level, I'm sure it's...
When they say a worker shortage, though, the workers they're talking about are migrant workers that work in the fields. They're not talking about worker shortage of your UPS store is short a couple of dudes.
No, that's what I'm
Or the tire guy is down a couple of guys.
I'm thinking the tire guy.
No, when they say worker shortage, what they're really meaning is people that are picking strawberries, people that are picking oranges, people that are picking pineapples, people that are working in the fields, the people that are working in manufacturing that are literally all day long stapling something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they have one job and that's all they do is all day is put this sticker on each cup. Right? Like,
well, they got me because even I, after talking to all these guys that are way smarter than me, even I was like, oh yeah, worker shortage there is. Because every time I go to get something, what there's
a shortage of is people with a brain.
Yeah.
There's a shortage of people that are good workers. I've gone through tons of people, right? If I didn't have to fire all of them or they didn't quit, I would have 1 million people working for me. There's no shortage for me. The shortage is of qualified people that can show up on time and not be drunk or on drugs, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's it's a shortage of actual people that will do a job, that are reliable, care about that want to do a good job for their business, for the person they're working for.
So you mean more bullshit on the news? No, that can't be, Rob.
Bro, I don't know. When you go to the store, do you still get strawberries? Do you still get oranges? Do you get onions? Do you get tomatoes? Have you ever shown up and like all the fruit's missing?
Half the fruit, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it's common.
My point is the reason why the fruit you're getting now is more expensive is because the price of diesel is $5.70.
Yeah.
That's why the prices are up. It's not because there's less people picking strawberries. It's because it's $5.70 for 1 gallon of diesel, and every single truck driving on the highway that delivers all of those and all of the machinery that does a lot of that work runs on diesel. And when the price of that is like, I remember when diesel was less than regular unleaded.
I don't ever remember it.
2.5 years ago, diesel was less.
Yeah.
When I first bought this business, October of 2020, diesel was like 7 cents lower than 87 octane, regular unleaded. It was. And it was amazing.
That's that.
Right?
That's that redirect. You know,
$5.70.
It's really the gas. It's really everything else. But then you redirect it and you say, "Oh, shortage of workers," and then every American
CDL drivers. That's a real shortage.
Right, but every American has been into a place where, it's going to be a month for your car. It's going to be this long for this part to come in. So everybody's like, oh, yeah, there is a shortage. But behind the lines, because they're redirecting your mind pretty much, you say, yeah, there is a worker shortage, but there isn't. It's the cost of the shit.
It's the reason why the stuff is more expensive is because gas is more expensive. That's it. Like, there's a shortage of qualified workers, man. There's like all of these businesses, small businesses that I know, it's not like they don't have people showing up for interviews. Like, although it's right now, it's much harder to get people to show up for interviews. You have to interview more, go through more applications to actually get people to show up. But I'm getting people to show up. I actually conducted 2 job interviews today. I had a third, he no-showed, right? But so I got 2 out of 3 this time. But I think I'm only going to hire 1, right, of the 2. So the thing is like, who knows how long this guy's going to last, right? Like, hopefully he lasts a long time. But I know better. And a lot of the people that are in labor intensive, like construction workers and garbage companies and painters and plumbers, like, we just go through guys, man. Yeah. All right, you just go through guys and you just keep recycling the same old people, and eventually you hit one that sticks. And then it's just what's happening now is it's taking longer to find that one that sticks.
Quality.
Yeah, man, it's harder to find that guy that stays with you, and that is not just 6 months in or 4 months in he's fired or quit, and you're on to another person, right? Like, that's what's, in my opinion, is harder to find right now. It's a shortage of that.
You make sense. Makes total sense. When you put that into perspective and you listen to what you just said, it makes total sense.
And more things are becoming automated. Like, you don't know that a lot of things that are picked in fields are picked by machines.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know that because when were you on a farm? Honestly, the last time you were on a functioning farm?
When I was in Pennsylvania, which would have been 8 years ago.
I mean, so, and most people have never been on one, right? So, like, you have no idea.
No idea.
You think that strawberries get picked by humans, or raspberries get picked by humans, right? No, it's a machine that, like, shakes the trees and the raspberries fall into a pan. And when the only thing the human does is when it fills up, they take the tray off. Yeah. They're not picking shit. They're picking the fucking tray full of raspberries off of the machine and stacking it on their cart.
And then spraying it with pesticides like hell so we all get
cancer. Bro, they got drones doing that
They
shit
got
now.
drones doing it. Rob, there's your other job.
They got drones doing that, bro. Let's be honest. They got drones with guns on them, shooting people in China.
What I love that you did was the dog rescue. Because I love animals. I like animals way better than people.
Yeah, man.
And that was in Mexico, right?
That was in Eagle Pass and Del Rio.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much in Mexico. You didn't even want to know. You didn't even want to know about dogs in Mexico, because when I was down there for that panel, after the panel was over and they asked a bunch of questions about the border, I went into Mexico and recorded people crossing from the Mexico side, because I've seen in Eagle Pass them coming across right up to us, right? I've pulled people out of the Rio Grande and Del Rio that literally were in the water and, like, needed me to pull them out, right? I
remember.
So, like, I've seen them there. But I've always wanted to say, what it's like on that side. Like, what are they doing over there? Like, that's where the smugglers are. So we went over there, ran into 2 smugglers, and they were bringing, it was 2 men, and so the guy had a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. And everybody says, like, for the most part, you don't know if that's his real dad, right? Because there's so much human smuggling going on that it was hard to determine, is this guy's 5-year-old and 3-year-old, or is this someone else's 5-year-old and 3-year-old, and he's acting like the dad? Because they do that because they're more likely to be able to stay in the United States if they have a child, right? So this guy walks up to us with a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old from Venezuela, and with his friend. So it's 2 adult males and a young son and a young daughter, right? So they walk up to us, and we're recording them. And I have all the video. It's all on my social media and whatever on Instagram. And we had someone that spoke Spanish with us. So he starts interacting with the guy, and the guy's telling us the story about why he left Venezuela, because he's making like $20 a month there. He can't live off of that. He can't support his family. He has a special needs child that's still in Venezuela. So he needs to come here to work so he can send the money back home to take care of his kids, and then eventually make enough money to pay off someone to bring his family across so they can live here and not have to worry about what's going on in Venezuela, etc. Right? So we're like, are those your kids? He said, that's his kids, but I'm going to use his son and act like his son is my son, and obviously the daughter is his daughter. So this way, he's my buddy. Hopefully I can stay. So he's going to allow me to act like this is my son, even though it's his son, right? Because they're a better chance of getting across. Now, Biden at that time had just implemented the Venezuelans are like a Title 42, basically sending Venezuelans back that were crossing, right?
Why did he decide to do that?
I have no idea. Just all of a sudden it was like, boom, Venezuelans are getting sent back now.
Isn't that weird? Like,
it was very strange.
You have any idea why?
Venezuelans are starting to vote conservative. I mean, let's be honest. He just did it. They just did it today with Cubans. And we'll get into that in a second.
Oh, yeah. My barber told me. He's Cuban.
Yeah.
He said before, and this was 3 days ago, he said before it, because, it's Cuban, so every Cuban person in Florida goes to him. And he's a great guy. His father's coming over the right way. He came over. He was here maybe 2 months ago. He was allowed to stay for 3 months. Came to my house to cut my hair. He got 3 months. He went back. He's doing it the right way.
Yeah.
Sure. Because he wants to get the hell out of that cash. It's bad over there.
It's real bad, bro. And that's why I saw a ton of Cubans while I was down there, too.
I gave him a Coca-Cola, and he couldn't believe it.
Yeah, man. It's crazy.
This is very different than Cuba. I said, yeah, this one's probably trying to kill you.
Exactly.
This is the one thing in the United States that's probably trying to kill you. Yeah. And your Coke over there is probably a lot better, as in Coca-Cola.
Like the Mexican Coke made with real sugar. It just tastes better. Everybody knows that in a glass bottle. But these dudes were like saying, well, we're just going to say we're from Nicaragua. I mean, of course you are.
Of course.
You throw your ID away. You can be whoever the hell you want to be.
You could be from
You're
Chile,
Spanish, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you're from any country in Central or South America, no one's going to tell you you're not from there.
You got your choice, right?
So they're like, oh, so they're expelling Venezuelans? I'm from Guatemala.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from Ireland.
Exactly. Where are you from? I'm from Honduras. I'm from Nicaragua. I'm from Panama. Whatever. Doesn't matter, because you throw your ID away. You can be whoever the hell you want to be, right? So that's what he said. He's like, well, I'm just going to say I'm from Nicaragua because they're getting rid of Venezuelans, and I got the kid with me, and we're going to roll the dice. Well, while I was there was like a 30 to 40 mile an hour steady wind. It was cold. And the current was ripping, bro. The Rio ripping. And I'm like thinking, this dude's going to cross with these two kids. So he's looking and he's looking and he's looking. He's trying to find better places to like get down in there, run into these smugglers. First he sees the smugglers coming back from the American side, and they literally just walked right across. Got up to like their shoulders, walked right across. So he sees them. He's screaming out to them. He walks over there to meet him, and he's asking him, you just walked across? How, everything's good? And the guy's telling him, you'll be fine. Just walk in an angle because of the current. Just keep walking in an angle. And you put the kids on your shoulders, and you're going to be good. Showed them the spot, and then that was it, bro. They started to put their stuff on the ground. They started waterproofing everything in their bag. Boom. The one dude puts the kid on his shoulders. The other guy puts the son on his shoulders, and they just start walking, bro, across the Rio. And that current's ripping, bro, and it's cold. And they got the kids on their shoulders, and in 5 minutes and 24 seconds, from the Mexican side to the United States side, that's how long it took them. Got up to like their shoulders, they walked right across with the kids on their shoulders, right into the United States.
They got it down to a science.
No problem.
We need to hire
5 minutes.
Or some shit.
5 minutes, 24 seconds, right across the Rio Grande, into the United States, and they're probably in Miami right now, doing whatever.
How many of those kids, you don't hear much of the stories. I mean, you see the kids, right? But how many of those kids do you think, unfortunately, have been either trafficked or kidnapped or anything and brought over and sold into the sex trade? I mean, it's hard to say a number, right? But do you think there's
70%?
Yeah.
Yeah, 7 out of 10.
That's sad.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's horrible
That's
to say they've, in some way, shape, or form, have been trafficked or it. And it's our government's fault because they make it so easy to get here that people are going to make that trip. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to roll the dice and risk their lives and their children's lives to get here because right now it's as easy as it's ever been. So now you obviously are having, hundreds of thousands of people crossing a month, And
A month? That's how many?
Yeah, I think in October there was 238,000.
238,000.
There's been 72,000 so far since October to now in just the Del Rio sector.
Wow.
There's been over 900 deaths at the border so far.
That's
that they know
roughly,
about.
14 million a year, if not more?
Yeah, I mean,
give or take.
Yeah, they did over 5 million last year, and that's not including the gotaways.
Oh,
So that's just people that we know for sure.
imagine the gotaways.
And they have a lot of counting on gotaways because they have trail cams everywhere. So they're able to catch the gotaways on cameras in a lot of places so they can at least count them. But then obviously Bill Malusian just posted video from Ankara, New Mexico, of people just hopping over the wall, running literally over the wall, or running across the street right in front of him into the woods. No border patrol in sight.
And what's with the dogs with all this? What are they using dogs to get over too?
No, but that's pretty funny. I mean, like, I found a Great Pyrenees, and I was thinking, like, did someone ride this dude's back across the Rio? Like, that's how big the dog was. But so they're family pets, man. So like these people, think about how open the border is. It's so open. You feel so confident that you're going to bring your pet with you. Think about that.
Play the tab before that, half of it. Just play half of it. We'll talk about it, and then the one before that, tab before that, right there. Yeah, play that.
Yep.
I'll tell you when to stop it, and then John, anything you want to say while it's going on. You might have to refresh it if it don't go. Oh, that's good.
Right now we're at the Del Rio Animal Facility, Animal Control, and this is I think this is our last stop for today. We are about to grab 6 dogs that are about to be euthanized today. So golden retriever, chocolate lab, a pug, a variety of different dogs, but they're coming home on the plane or on the bus.
Okay.
With a record number of illegal crossings happening in Del Rio and Eagle Pass and all along the southern border, we're seeing a huge uptick in discarded pets. People are bringing their animals across the Rio Grande and then having to leave them there because they cannot take them into Border Patrol custody. So
which one do
most
you want
of
to
the
take?
dogs, probably 99% of all dogs, are not spayed or neutered.
Oh.
So they're bringing them across and leaving them there. There's sad Sally. And the dogs are having puppies. Weimaraner. Over and over again. There are literally hundreds, if not thousands, of dogs just in Eagle Pass and Del Rio alone. All of the animal shelters are full. All of the nonprofits are full. My favorite was the little homie right here, Chug.
Yeah,
I like him, bro. That's that. He might be making that trip back to back up to the house. There he is.
There's the dude.
I had him put him up in first class. So we're just loading up all of the travel. We just built all of these, and then they'll all go in there. He's next. Chocolate Lab.
Look, they're so happy just to be loved.
Yep. The pup.
All right, that one will go next. It's okay.
How sad is that?
It worked.
Terrible.
Chug.
Sorry, it's all right though. We can put that one in this one.
That's a Chihuahua pug. Chug.
You got to get that one.
Yeah.
Put Chug in that one.
So guys, right now we're at the Del Rio Animal Facility.
Yeah. All right, you can pause it.
And so we we were told 6 dogs are going to be euthanized that day. So the lady Lori Simmons, who runs Big Dog Ranch Rescue, she's like, well, that ain't happening. I just can't. I won't be able to sleep for the rest of my life. So she's like, we're getting them dogs.
But like you said, like the confidence that they have that they can bring their pet across.
Yeah.
Like not just them and their kid, or it's like one of you go and the kid and I'll stay back. They're bringing the whole 9.
I'm trying to tell people, man.
Next thing will be cats and the guinea pig that they have in the thing spinning on the wheel. You'll have a thing for guinea pigs.
All I'm saying is it's never a good thing when more people from these countries live here than in theirs countries. Like, think about this, man. Like, we have 332.5 million people living here, right? Like, we're bringing 5 million in 2 years, right? That's just what we know about. Let's say it's 8 million really.
And you said in that video, right,
every
John,
year
that all those shelters are full.
Oh, every
all the
single one.
nonprofit.
Yeah, they have.
All the
And
nonprofits.
that's in Texas.
Yes.
And that's a big state.
Bro, that's just in Eagle Pass and Del Rio.
Huge state.
You know how many border towns there are? I joined a dog rescue lost and found on Facebook for that area.
Very cool.
And that's how I found a lot of these dogs too. People were like, I said, hey, I'm with Big Dog Ranch Rescue. We're doing a dog rescue right now for the next 2 days in Eagle Pass and Del Rio. If you've seen dogs, tell us their location. And that was like a boom. People just flooding the block. Like, I'm from Uvalde. There's 1 million dogs here. Can you come here? I'm from this town. I'm from Laredo. I'm from here. There's dogs everywhere. There's dogs everywhere. There's dogs everywhere. Like, can you come? Can you come? I'm like, bro, we can only take 40. That's all we have room for. I wish I could take 400, but like,
made a difference.
there are
save 40, bro.
Bro, there's 1 million dogs, man.
That's a shame.
And also 1 million cats.
I'm a dog guy.
And there's cats everywhere. I mean, cats everywhere. Everywhere. Bro, we're in the gas station getting gas. Dog walks right up to us. No collar, no leash. We're like, oh, hey, buddy. Put the boom right in the van. Let's go.
Good
You're out.
You. Good
They just walk right up to you at the gas station, bro. You're pumping gas like a damn homeless person. Like, hey, man, you got any food, dude? I'm hungry.
How
like,
sad is that?
it's freaking horrible, man. It's so sad. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
I want
bro.
you to get that dog and bring him in with you.
To Chug?
Yeah, get the Chug and bring him in.
Yeah, man.
That'd be cool, man. Bring him in with you.
I mean, yeah, why not?
Yeah, let him sit with you.
And these people,
get him on camera. Get him some camera time.
for
right?
sure, man. And these dogs, man, covered in ticks, covered in fleas,
I hate
worms. One dog had like 80 ticks on it, man. And Lori from Big Dog Ranch Rescue, right, who owns or I don't know, not owns, the founder of Big Dog Ranch Rescue. And the guy that works with her, Rich, I think was his name. I'm sorry if I effed that up. They just sat there, bro, and put this dog on him, and they just started pulling ticks off with their fingers, one after another. Pop, pop.
Good
like,
for Lori on
They
Farmer.
don't give a shit.
Give them
like,
credit.
she had fleas in her hair, all over her. Like,
Good person.
bro, she has gone to China, got dogs from China, Romania. The hurricane that just happened in Puerto Rico, got dogs out of Puerto Rico. Like, they just opened up another facility in Alabama. Got like 50 acres, 100 acres out in Alabama. They bought a closed down Greyhound facility because Greyhound Racing's banned. They bought that facility so they can get the dogs from Texas to, I mean,
That's a beautiful
this
thing.
lady is like, in the next life is going to be like,
She's going to be a rock star.
something, bro.
Fucking supermodel.
It's like
cover of the magazine.
Huda,
and
I
she
mean,
deserves it.
it's
She,
like that-
I mean, it's amazing the stuff that this
that
woman
should
does
be
is crazy.
that should be a national like story, and it should. Well, I mean, it was, but it should be. It should be. You know the commercial. Remember that commercial? You'd see the poor dogs and be like, "In the arms of." They'd play that.
Oh,
sad
yeah.
song. Like it should be on that across the whole United States, and be like, "Look at the problem here.
Yeah.
There's thousands and thousands of dogs.
Yeah, man.
And they have nowhere to go."
So another thing that's bad about this, right, and how I tied it into the interview I did today for Cavuto, right, is that, and man, as you just get more involved in stuff, you just learn so much more, right? It's just like, I never rescued a dog before in my life. I just saw a need, and I knew somebody, and I set it up, right? Like, I've never been a big dog person until, like, I had dogs growing up as a kid, but as an adult, I never was like, ooh, I want to get a dog. Never, right? I just don't know why, but I just never been an animal person, really. So my mother-in-law got a dog, a Cavapoo, like 1-year-old, bought him because she wanted a dog. And then she had the dog for a couple of days, and she was just brought it over because the kids went, oh my God, I want to see the dog. So she brought the dog over, and the kids were just like ecstatic over this dog. And she's, she was like, takes her home and then texts Erica like, I don't know if I want the dog. It's a lot of work. I drive to Miami every day, and then he's by himself. And I, saw how the kids were with the dog, and like, if you want the dog, I'll give you the dog. So she's like, and we tried to have a dog before. Like, we had a chocolate lab. We got it as a puppy. And this is when we had little girls and little kids. And the dog was just, we weren't ready for that puppy, bro. A chocolate lab puppy. He was trampling the kids. she was trampling the kids. Our cousins would come over, just trampling them, jumping up on everything, going in the bathroom everywhere. And when like, dude, a dog, like a chocolate lab pees, it's like acid, bro. It just is like the urine is just like, oh, and it's so much. And like the dog licked through our floor and chewed up our baseboards. And like we had little children, and it was just like overwhelming, right? So we found a good home for the dog. You know, I might get some dog hate for that shit. I don't know, but
found a good home for us.
A great home and trust me, bro. Like, I'm not a scumbag. Like, I found a great home, on where this dog had land to run, and we didn't sell it. We gave the people a beautiful chocolate lab. So then, like I said, my mother-in-law brought this dog, and the kids loved it, and they were like, you know, Daddy, can we have the dog? And it's a little guy. It's a Cavapo. It's a little guy. And bro, I'm in love with this dog, man. I love this dog, and I never loved dogs like that. But something about the dog, man, it just kind of changed me in a way that I didn't think, like, you know, having an animal could change you. But man, there's something to the whole man's best friend thing. There really is.
Especially when you're going through something. Because the dog doesn't judge you. It just can't wait to see you.
Every time you come home, every time, bro. That dog it's like it never seen me before.
Yeah.
Like it's the first time it ever seen, you know what I mean? Like
just happy to see you.
Bro, so happy, man. Day. And it's, you know, it's something so trivial, but it is cool to like come home and have this dog that's just like, no matter what, wants your attention so bad. It's just so excited that you're there.
No matter what. You could have the worst day ever. The dog doesn't give two shits. I'll tell you right now, my daughter, if you know that micro mini French bulldog that I bought like an idiot? It's still, even though it got fat because I had to give it butter to keep it alive when the teeth wouldn't come in. Yeah. If I would take that dog away, my daughter would probably commit suicide.
That's crazy.
Every morning.
How much do you love dogs?
Camilla, can we get Camilla? Can we get Camilla? And she's little. Yeah. You know, so she could play. As you said, I have another one, Guido. Yeah. And he's just strong. You know, he's just an ox. You know, so he's too big to have him jumping around and playing. Yeah. But the little one, come on, it's all over.
And it's just a different thing for the kids, man. You know,
I'd rather give it a dog than an iPad.
God,
you know,
God, please, they're so in love with this dog, and I think that makes me love the dog even so much more because I can see how much happiness it brings the kids.
And you get a break.
My son John loves that dog, bro.
I bet he does.
He loves that dog.
Man,
period. End of story, bro. Like that. Like you know, I dread the day that when it's all over. You know what I mean? Because it's like I used to be such an asshole towards people that would be like, my dog died on Facebook. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm going through this shit right now. And I'm like, bro, it's a fucking dog. Like, you're gonna be okay, right? Like, are you gonna make it? But now,
bro, you'll see somebody.
Hey man, I apologize to anybody I've thrown shade at. Okay, my buddy Mike, who I've definitely thrown shade at because he's a gigantic bulldog lover, right? And he's obviously, bulldogs die early. He's gone through several bulldogs, and back in the day, we had a cat named Fatty, and just whatever the case may be, I always used to be like, Mike, and like, bro, he's on the verge of like ready to jump off a fucking bridge. Yeah. And I'm like, Mike, you know, you gotta whisper to him, Mike, bro, like it was a dog. You know what I mean? Like I know you love, but bro, it was a dog.
You get it now though.
Now I know, bro.
Now you know.
Now I know why the people are making the Facebook posts and motherfuckers ain't showing up to work.
Yeah.
And like, bro, in a depression. Yeah. Like for whatever, like, or send an RIP post months after, like RIP, you know, Tucker, RIP little Schmitty, I still miss you, bro. Like, I'm like, bro, like back in the day, you used to like, bro, all right, already. Good Lord.
The saddest
now
thing
I'm like,
to see is
dreading it.
When a man loses his wife, and the only thing left was that dog that they had together, and then that dog dies, and that was the last thing that man had.
Shared to with the wife.
And his wife.
That's it.
Yeah, man.
It happened with Scott.
Yeah, man.
He was paralyzed for 2 weeks. He couldn't move.
Sucks.
It just broke his heart.
But I have a whole new found respect and outlook on dogs, and you know, it just my dog made the dog rescue mean so much more than it would have if I didn't have a dog, and either way, I'd notice the dogs. And even though I didn't, if I didn't have a dog or not, I was going to do the dog rescue, right? But like just having the dog and having that love for the dog, like seeing these dogs in such bad shape.
Your perspective changes.
You're just like, God, these poor dogs. You know what I mean? And it's just like, this is some bullshit, man. Like I can never imagine just leaving my dog at the border, man, saying, hey, Tucker, adios, amigo. It's been real. Hey, make sure you ain't doing some shit out on these streets. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Keep your head down.
Yeah.
You know, like, bro, maybe I'll catch up to you later. Like, no, bro.
Go about
I'm not like
15 seconds in that video and then play it. There's a lot of clips of what he saw there. Every time you have more clips, it's just worse and worse and more people and more weird shit.
National Guard saying dogs have been here for 2 months waiting for their owners to come back.
Yeah.
On the Fox one?
No, on the one that you just played.
I got it.
All right. Yeah. But that's a great thing to do, because and I don't know how you can just leave your dog.
There he is.
Especially like a family dog.
Nicaragua. But they think, bro, they've been told, like, yeah, you can bring them. Make sure you bring, if you have any vax documents, bro, they're bringing their vaccine dog. Like, he's got his rabies shot.
Mucho walk.
You like my Spanish?
They're right there.
Very good.
Yeah.
Mucho walk.
Up in
Walked
there.
a long way.
Border Patrol.
Mira.
Thank you. You're welcome.
And then he says thank you to me.
Nicaragua?
She said thank you.
Up there.
Now, like this group, how long have they been walking for, do you think?
It's hard to tell, right? But
They change their clothes.
Yeah, that's why there's always so much shit around here.
National Guard guy.
He's had it.
That's just Joe Snuffy. You know what I'm saying?
Jeez.
The fuck?
Yeah, oh, just keep coming.
Here in Del Rio, Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Dog Ranch Rescue. And obviously we're at the Trump wall, and then you have the pathetic Bush wall behind us that stopped absolutely nothing. But look at this big, beautiful wall. President Trump, we're ready for you. I'm proud of you. I'm glad you announced. Obviously, it's Trump 2024. It's time to take the White House back. Time to take this country back. I'm tired of the people crossing the border. I'm tired of the dogs being left here, the trash being left here, 10% inflation, crime is freaking nuts. This is America right here, and we need to preserve it, and we need to love it and cherish it and take care of it. And I'll do everything in my power to make sure that happens. I got your back, President Trump.
Play the next tab. I think it's worth it that our buddy here got on Neil Caputo. I mean, congratulations, John.
Yeah.
That's a big
Thank
deal.
you.
Yeah. It's 2 minutes, but play it. You deserve it.
Yeah.
Well, meanwhile, the border crisis impacting more than just humans. Dogs are making the journey through Mexico to the U.S. only to get separated or abandoned at the border. Joining me now is Great American Cleanup founder and veteran John Rourke.
Nice background.
Who just returned from a major
Where
dog
were you at, buddy?
rescue in Eagle Pass, Texas. John, good to see you. We, not for a minute do we want to minimize the human suffering here, because there have been over 900 people who've died this year as a result of failed attempts to cross over. I mean, it's just awful what's happening to humans. But what happens to dogs is really heartbreaking.
See the earplug,
right?
left-hand side, right.
Yes, it truly is. And just think about these people are bringing their pets across the Rio Grande from countries far and wide. I mean, it's because they know that the border is wide open, so much so that they're willing to bring their pets with them. So when they cross the Rio and they encounter a Border Patrol agent, that once they encounter the Border Patrol agent, they're told they're not allowed to bring their pets with them. A lot of these pets are not spayed or neutered. So what's happening is they're leaving them right there at the border, and then these dogs are repeatedly having puppies. So there's literally hundreds, if not thousands of dogs running wild all over Eagle Pass and Del Rio. And I'm sure it's the same thing at every border town all along the border.
Well, we don't have much time, John, but how do you rehabilitate these animals?
So a lot of them are covered in ticks and covered in fleas, and they have worms. Some have distemper. So we partnered with Big Dog Ranch Rescue out of here in Palm Beach County, and we flew them from Del Rio. 40 dogs we were able to rescue, and we're going to rehab them down here at the Big Dog Ranch Rescue, and then they'll be up for adoption hopefully within the next month or two once they're through the rehabilitation process.
And do you have enough people willing to adopt them?
Of course, yeah. There's tons of people that have been messaging me on social media asking, hey, when are they going to be up for adoption? I would love to take one of those off your hands. I mean, when adoptions are down 60% and turnover, turning dogs in are up 40%, surrenders, It's because of the Biden administration, inflation, and the price of everything. People can't afford their pets, so they're just letting them go as well. So that's a big problem.
What a tragedy. But it is great how you can rehabilitate these animals. And again, we don't want to minimize at all what the human beings are suffering, which is horrible. But congratulations for your work, John. As always, we appreciate seeing you. Thank you very much.
I hate how they say, like, you know, I only got a little bit of time left.
Yeah.
You know, doesn't that drive you nuts?
You know, no, I'm just happy for the time that I get to be able to just rip it. You know what I mean? Like,
get something in, right?
I want to trash Biden. Like, that's my thing, right? So I don't like him at all. I think he's a horrible president, and on the side note, I just think he's not a good person. I just think he's a bad person.
Well, look how he treats his kids.
Yeah, I know, and we can travel down that road for an hour, right? Yeah. Like, we all know he's no father of the year, and like, that's my life, bro, is being a father. Like, I don't understand how your kids could be so fucked up, right? And like, that tells me you didn't give a shit about them. That's all that tells me, because if you did, there's a really good chance that they would not be the way that they are right now. That tells me you weren't in their life, man. And if you can't even be a good dad to your kids, you think that you're going to be the president of the United States? Like, you don't even care about your own goddamn children. You didn't care about them. They're 2 children that are alive are both junkies.
Well, think about it like this.
That's the truth.
Who puts their own kid, in crossfire doing illegal shit? Who does that? And then you know what's going to happen. If they do indict anybody, it's going to be Hunter.
Yeah.
Not Joe. And Joe's going to let his own son get buried.
Yeah.
So he doesn't get buried.
And then he'll just pardon him.
And whatever happened to your dad takes the hit. That's my kid. I'll take the hit.
Of course.
I'll go do the time.
Bro, you're 80. How many years do you think you got left, bro? What are they going to give you, 20 years?
Yeah.
You got 2 left.
Yeah.
Your son's got his whole damn life ahead of him. What are you know, like, but he doesn't, they don't care about that.
I know.
Like, you think that they're actually worried about repercussions?
No. But for a guy like me, a guy like you, a guy like
there
Rob,
are no
guys
repercussions
like us,
for them.
All I know is I would take the hit for my daughter in a minute.
100%.
Give me the 10 years. When you gotta put your fucking kid away.
Hey, man.
Let alone involve them. Let alone involve them or allow them to get involved in international, God knows what.
Using your name.
Yep.
They're using daddy's name to gain influence and power and money.
And he's the big guy, and he's Hunter Biden,
Of
and they got
course.
Hunter Biden's name, so they're going to fucking hit him, and he's going to let it happen.
Do you think someone like Tony Bobolinsky, who came out and basically confirmed that Joe Biden knows about all of this, was completely involved in everything, do you think Tony Bobolinsky is interested in his life being ruined? Do you think he's like, oh man, I can't wait to tell this story so my entire fucking life can be ruined? I can't wait to do that.
Exactly.
And my kids and their kids and everyone that's related to me, anyone that's friends with me, anything, I have business partners, all of that's gone. Man, I just cannot wait to go on Tucker Carlson and talk about this shit. Like, do you think he's just doing that because he wants people to know who Tony Bobolinsky is? Like, bro, you have such a fucking crazy name. You should just be known for having that name.
Oh, wow.
Like, who the fuck named Bobolinsky? Like, bro, come on, man. Like,
right away,
that guy.
Right away, I think Lorena Bobbitt.
Yeah,
and I
see, and that's something I didn't even think about. He's just got a name that sells itself. Like, he didn't even need to do shit. He should have been on a car dealership, bro. Bobolinsky Buick. You know what I mean? Like, done. You're a millionaire a million times over.
I would do Bobbitt dash Alinsky just because the Bobbitt would stick out marketing wise. You'd be packed,
bro.
buddy.
Come on, man. Like, so this guy just comes out and says, I'm gonna just tell you what happened. And and by the way, he was an ex-military guy. He was a captain in the Navy, I believe. Stand-up dude, right? Has a family, has everything to lose. Throws it out there, and nothing happened. This dude is corroborating what's in Hunter's laptop.
Of course it didn't.
He is directly involved in everything, right? Literally nothing happened. It was Russian disinformation.
They control everything.
Bro, that's Russian disinformation.
Whenever you search Google, whatever you see is what they want you to see.
100%.
Whatever goes viral is what they want to go viral.
Man,
There is
doubt.
no viral.
No.
It's what they want to go viral.
That is 100%.
And that's why nobody knows 99.9% of what's really going on.
Yeah.
Because all this push down your throat is what they want, but you think, not you,
Yeah.
but the average person thinks, oh, these are just the search results, or this is really what's going on.
Bro, that's election tampering. That's
I have
what
nothing
I mean.
to hide. I don't need to maybe take some precautions so 100 million aren't fucking dead by 2030, but you wouldn't know that because you just want to be told what to do.
Hey, man, they call me an election denier. When I say that I believe the election was rigged, people just automatically think, oh, voting machines. You think so? No, like when I say the election was rigged, I mean like the Hunter Biden laptop was real and everybody knew it was real. And then like 50 former intelligence people signed a document stating that they believed it to be Russian disinformation, which then allowed the media to take off and say it was Russian disinformation when every single one of those people knew that it was not Russian disinformation, but that if it came out as being authentic and real, which everyone knew that it was, there's no way President Biden would have been elected because there are millions of fringe voters that would have swayed, and they have taken polls of millions of people since then that said, if you knew that this was in fact a real laptop authenticated, would you still have voted for Biden? They said no. So they polled millions of Biden voters that also said no. If I knew that this was real when they knew it was real, and they should have said that, the FBI knew it was real, it had been authenticated, right? Like, they knew it was really his laptop the moment that they were able to hook it up to a computer and check it, right? Like, so they knew that, and they said it was Russian. They got intelligence people like Clapper and all these people, Brennan, to sign a document stating that they believed it was Russian disinformation, which allowed the news media to sink it completely. And then that got Biden elected. Oh, and by the way, anytime you Google search anything to do with Trump or the election or voting, like everything goes to Biden. Like, you never get to see anything good about Trump or any articles about that you might be trying to do some research on your own, and you're trying to like do some research on a candidate because you're an independent, and you might go one way, you might go the other. Like, if you try to Google anything good about this dude, you're not going to find anything. Like, they literally banned him from Twitter. Like, they banned him. And you have the mullahs in Iran that are on Twitter that like literally massacre people. I mean, Putin, Xi. Keep going. Like, you know what I'm saying? What about the Uyghurs in China that they just put force into slave labor and they massacre? Like, you don't hear anything about that, right? Because big tech's in China's pocket, and big NBA and big everything.
Pharma.
Big pharma. They're all in China's pocket. Like, almost all the antibiotics in the world are made in China.
They're
like,
all working
bro,
together.
come on, man. Like, and that's the thing, is just like, when is enough with this shit, man? You know what I mean?
What do you think the border looks like in a year from now?
Well, I'm hoping better. And the reason why I say that is because we took over Congress. So I believe that Congress is going to, I don't believe that they're going to. I'm hoping that they're going to do their jobs and somehow, some way,
stop bickering and
get this border
done.
Closed, right? Like, how they're going to do that, I don't know, but I hope that they try to do it. I hope, they impeach Mayorkas, but I think that it could possibly be way worse a year from now because they're about to remove Title 42, and Border Patrol has put out what they believe the estimated numbers are going to be once that's removed, and they're estimating like over 500,000 people per month.
Wow.
Coming in per month.
And they can renew Title 42, right?
But it's not likely.
No matter what, it's not likely.
It's not likely. You know what I mean? Like, COVID's long gone.
It's going to be a madhouse.
Right? Like, even though they want masks back and everything, they're trying to do that hardcore, trying to bring masks back and everything. But.
So when we saw the two fences, the Bush fence or whatever, the blue one, and then the Trump one, looking at it from here, it doesn't really look that much different. In reality, can you explain the difference between what Trump built and that? Because when I look at it just on screen, it doesn't look any stronger than the Bush fence to me.
Yeah, it's like the difference.
But I'm not there in front of it. You know what I mean? I'm watching it on a box square video.
So it's like, getting a ribeye, like a tomahawk from Peter Luger's, and that's what that's what's right behind me. And then the other one is like getting like a sirloin from like a Piggly Wiggly. Like, that's the difference, bro. Like, that's the stark
for me,
difference.
Looking at this, the blue one looks stronger than the brown one?
Taller the brown one.
Well, it's only because you're not seeing the very top. Yeah. It's about almost triple in the height.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I'm missing.
And at the top of it is it's flat, so you can't, like, once you get close to the top, there's no more bars if you're like shimmy your way up because it's flat. There's like nothing to grab on. There's no holes up at the very top.
Whereas this, you pretty much got to pull a bar to get up there.
Yeah, like
you got a step ladder behind you.
Yeah.
On the other one where you can put your feet on that bottom, jump up and hang, and you're good to go.
You can literally, you had a saw, you could cut through it with your hand.
Is that steel?
That's steel. Behind there was like I believe that's aluminum.
Okay.
The other one.
That makes sense now because it's so high and you can't climb it. Okay, that's
but
why I
you know
wanted
what?
to ask you.
At least it's something.
It's something.
It's better than what the Democrats did, which was nothing. But the difference in the walls, bro, is like what the difference between night and day is. It's that much of a difference.
That's why I wanted you to explain it, because if you're just watching it, it looks like the other one's stronger. But when you explain it, it's very clear.
How much of that is actually built? Like how? Like I don't know what the not coastline, but I don't know how far the border goes, right? Miles wise, but how much?
20.
Not much. Right?
Will you Google it? I think it's like 2,200 miles of border, but not enough is built. Yeah. Okay, that's the answer. I don't know the exact amount. I want to say it's maybe half or more. But in Eagle Pass, it's or in Del Rio, it's where it stopped. So like you'll see the wall, and then nothing. There's several places where you'll see the stacked up piles of fence that's just sitting there collecting, just rusting. Taxpayers already paid for it.
Is that going to be able to be used?
Texas has declared an invasion at their border, and they've basically commandeered all of the remaining materials that are there, and they're putting the border wall up with that.
Hey, Rob, did you find out how long the U.S.-Mexico border is?
Yep. So let's pull this up here. It says it's 3,141 kilometers, which I'm not very good at math, so we'll come over to here. And that converts to 1,951.7 miles. So that's a pretty lot.
It's like fucking driving from here to Maine.
Yeah. And we have, you said, how much would you guess a fence up? Not a lot.
You could Google that too. You could put how many miles of border wall exist or something like that.
How many do you think? Don't look. How many do you think?
600 miles. Right there, Trump wall, how much he actually built. BBC News, which is probably going to be a lie, but it's all right.
They're shit too?
Looks like built 15 miles of new primary battery where none existed before, 350 miles of replacement or secondary barrier. So let's just say 360.
Before he took office, there were 654 miles of barrier along the southern border made up of 354 miles of barricades to stop pedestrians.
So not a lot.
Oh, my God. I can't read this anymore. Pedestrians. Bro, I can't. Get that out of my face.
Not enough. Not enough. Not enough.
That's enough to make me fucking blow a gasket.
And somebody that, I understand,
Bro,
somebody who's been down there 4, 5, 6 times to these places.
Pedestrians? Are we crossing the goddamn road in freaking Jupiter somewhere? Like, that's just those pedestrians over there. Hey, guys.
Yeah, like they're making it like it's me and you that like we went to Mexico or we went wherever and we're just
they're illegal immigrants. And some of them are horrible fucking people.
That's even on Brave.
Child rapists.
That came up on Brave.
They're not pedestrians.
I got to tell, I've seen about that one.
It's nuts, bro.
That's bad.
Pedestrians. They're just pedestrians.
What'd you want to ask?
Bro, that's why he can say the border is secure. Don't you guys get it? Like, he can say it with confidence. Because then you can go look it up. The liberal media calls them pedestrians. Yep. Come on, man. It's
worse
like
and worse every time I get into this shit.
How can you not know by now? Like, if you're a liberal, man, how can you not know?
Would you want to ask him about terms?
No, I was just talking to Tom. I was talking to my friend earlier today. We were talking politics, and I said, in my opinion, I'm 37. I guess considered a millennial, but I'm on the upper clasp of that. But the only way I think we solve some of these issues, right, are term limits for senators, House of Representatives. I mean, I don't know how the founding fathers, unless I'm wrong, did not write that in there. Like, we have term limits for a president, but these people can serve from the time they're 30 till 95, making millions and millions and millions of dollars. So I think the term limits is one thing. And I was saying to my buddy today, I'm like, my personal opinion, I'm just tired of old. This isn't an ageism thing. I like old people. I love old people. Old politicians.
Yeah.
I think we need young people in there. And that goes for Biden. That goes for Trump. And I know you like Trump, but I think we need younger than that.
No, I don't doubt it, man. And this is the reason why I think there should be term limits too, right? But look at the look at the guys that run and the girls that run for office now, right? Like Joe Biden's the president. Think about that. There's 332.5 million people in the United States. Joe Biden is the president of the United States, right?
Well,
so, like, if you have
put in drop boxes, I know you saw 2,000 mules.
Of course,
that's all the facts you need,
right?
In my opinion.
So, my point is that having term limits is great, but it is so. You know how hard it is to find someone to run for office that actually wants to go through the bullshit.
Who the hell really
of running for office? So, like. Some people run unopposed, man, and just win, and no one even runs against them, right?
Bernie's got it down pat, though. Bernie steps in. He knows he's going to take votes from the Dems.
Well, he's got the whole shtick.
40 million this year.
Crazy,
40 million this year. I'm staying in, and I'm taking your votes. Right. All right, Bernie, here's 40. But maybe he'll be around 2024.
Right.
He'll get another 40 million.
For sure. And my point is like, it's so hard to find good people to run. Right now, it's like if we just kept turning over these people every fucking 6 years or 4 people, like there would be nobody running for office because it's the process of running for office is just brutal. Like, you remember what they did to Kavanaugh? They went back to his high school days.
That was hard. They made
remember at that keg party when you were 16 and you were kissing that girl in a room in the back of the house.
And you make that man cry in front of his family. You make
destroyed his life on national television, bro.
That's insane.
Like, who wants to be a Supreme Court justice now?
Not me.
Like, I mean, they made this dude. They brought a lady out who was lying.
She must hang out with Amber Rose.
They got a woman to just come out and lie, bro, and just say, "Oh, he raped me." And then, even though this dude had, before he was a Supreme Court justice, had become judges at the highest level, she never said anything.
The highest level
before Supreme Court, never said a word. All of a sudden, he's a Supreme Court. Now I'm going to say it.
He didn't even. He's like he was like my mother. Yeah. My mother never got a speeding ticket in her life. She never got pulled over in her life. Perfect. That was like him. Nothing. Now he goes for Supreme Court. You got the guy crying up there with his family.
He is a rapist. He's an alcoholic rapist, and that's the end of the story. Kind of like all the girls that came out against President Trump and said that he sexually assaulted them. Funny how when he had the #1 rated show on all of television, The Apprentice, for like 8 straight years in a row, none of those women came out and said, "Man, this guy raped me."
When you would
the
think
#1 celebrity in the world. Nope. President, he raped me.
So what do you think the term should be? What do you think the term should be?
Oh, God. I think that if you do 20 years in service to the country, I think that it's time. Just pack. It's time.
It's time.
Let somebody else get a crack at it.
Go on vacation, right?
Yeah, 20 years is a long time, man. And that's just, people say like that's an arbitrary, you're just throwing arbitrary numbers out there. I mean, kind of not. Like, that's kind of like what that's kind of the standard is for people to work. Like, you ask any of these retirees, it's like 20, 30 years, they're done.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's kind of the thing. Like, you 20 years, you earned your pension. Like, my dad did 20 years in NYPD. He vested his pension. He retired at 20. Most cops retired at 20. And that's kind of like, you get 20 years. After 20 years, it's like, you've been doing the same shit for 20 years, man. You're not as effective as you used to be. There can't be that vigor. Like,
you get in there around like 30s, right? 30ish.
Yeah.
And then by 50, 55,
move on
for
to
sure
something
60.
You've made enough money.
Yeah, you made enough money. You've had enough power. It's time to close that chapter down and move on. But like when I always say, man, like when you ever ask people like, when you think about corruption, what job do you think of? And they're like politicians. When you think about liars, what do you think of? Politicians, lawyers, or politicians, right? Like, so, and then they elect a career 50-year politician.
Yeah.
Who's been lying for 50
All
years.
they ever say about politicians is bad stuff.
That's
And
a
they
great
elect
point.
a politician. This guy's been doing. He's never had a public sector job.
Even when they'll show like I never said that, and then they're like, hold on, let me play this video. And
Yes.
like, I disagree with that, and then they'll be like, you said it. See, and he's like, next question. Like, what the?
And
fuck?
that's it.
It's
And
right
then it goes
there.
away.
I did not have sexual intercourse
Yeah.
with that woman.
Miss Lewinsky.
Miss Lewinsky.
Yeah, kind of just did some really crazy shit with her, but I mean, you know,
Yeah, but that
whatever.
Did you see that the dog that I picked to put up on your screen was the one that you're going to go get?
The Chug?
Yeah, I didn't know you were going to go get that.
Oh,
I
no,
just
that's
liked
weird.
him. I just liked him because he kind of looks like mine.
Yeah, he looks cool, man.
Yeah.
And he had a good temperament, and like, how the hell could someone just leave that dog like that,
You
right?
gotta go get him.
But they believe that they can bring them.
Name him Chugs.
Yeah, that's what he is.
Because in your whole life, I know you like
I
to
mean,
chug.
yeah, for real.
I've heard.
Yeah, I did. And yeah, he's awesome, bro. That dog was cool. There were tons. All the dogs were cool, man. They're just, none of the dogs. There was one little Chihuahua that was like a little, feisty, but they usually are like that sometimes. Like it would only
They're
let a
hyper.
woman. Only a woman could handle that. There was one Chihuahua in there that. But other than that, all the other dogs were really cool, man.
So now politically, right? The Dems are the states that are allowing this crime to happen, and I can only imagine how nuts it's going to get around the holidays. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Like, as Christmas is coming up, how bad it's
Yeah.
going to get? How does this benefit the Democrats? How does it benefit the Democrats to allow people to walk into a store, steal whatever they want, leave, rob people, a woman get almost beat to death at the airport, and the guy walks away? I don't even think they
So-
caught him now.
Yeah.
So by them allowing this to happen, how is that beneficial toward the Democratic Party? Because the Republican states aren't doing that shit.
No.
So how does that benefit the Democratic Party and the Democratic Party doing nothing about it?
I
mean, there has to be a reason.
Well, this is why local elections are so important, right? Like, so, like senators that are Democrats, right? Like, it all comes down to those prosecutors, man. Like, that's what it comes down to, bro. Like, the crime that's crazy, the people pushing people in front of trains and shit, is mental health, but is also repeat offenders that are not getting put away because liberal prosecutors and liberal judges are making sure that doesn't happen, right? So, like, not every Democrat that's up there wants these people to get let out or released from jail. Like, not every one of them do, but that's why it's so important on these. Soros has figured out that he can control, if you control the lowest levels, really you control it all, man. Like, he can just turn a city upside down through one prosecutor, man. And he's doing that. He's turning these cities upside down. Why are they doing it? Is the question. Like,
why do you think?
God, I don't know. Is it to make people dependent on the government somehow, that where they think like their cities are so out of control? Like, it doesn't get them more votes. Is it to keep people scared so they don't expose stuff? Like, I don't know.
And like, I'm going to go back to my barber. He said, when Trump was in, everybody was Biden, Democrat. And he said the last 6 months, everybody now was Republican. We want him back. He was at my house cutting my hair and Trump came on.
Yeah.
He go, everybody at the barbershop, they want the big guy back. They want the big guy back. He goes, before everybody wanted the other, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, because jobs were flowing.
Yeah.
Interest rates were low. People had money in the bank.
And remember,
people had less debt.
And the Spanish community have a lot of people in New York, California,
of course.
these places that are getting robbed. And a lot of their families that they came over legally have little mom and pop gas
100%.
stations. They can't afford to take hits like this. They can't afford to take $1,000 hit left and right.
No, man.
They can't afford to lock everything up, or they have to hire more to unlock to get a bottle of Advil.
Even corporate stores can't even afford it, bro. CVS's are closing in droves. Walgreens are closing in droves. Wawa's closing, bro.
I couldn't believe when Wawa left Philly.
Bro, these people are packing up and they're closing up shop because the shoplifting's so out of control. They can't keep anything in stock. They're losing money by that. So it
has to be so you depend on the government. It has to be. Because
so where do those people that depended on that CVS to get their drugs? Older people that live in those neighborhoods, where do they go now?
Well,
now it's harder for them to get the medicine.
Well, they'll die, and that's what they want.
All right, there you go.
I mean,
it's just
definitely out of population control.
It's hard to wrap your mind around, why someone would want more crime.
Because you would think Obama would tell the puppet, "Hey, puppet, do something and stop this because it's making us look really bad." You would think, right? So the only conclusion I can come up with is what you said, is so that you eventually have to depend on the government because all the mom and pop shops are dead. The big ones like Walgreens, they left, they're out.
Yeah.
Right? So now if, like you said, if you need that medicine from Walgreens or you need whatever, government, can you help me? And now they have control.
Yeah, man. I mean, look what happened after those Baltimore riots. They burned that CVS to the ground. They never came back.
Never came back.
That entire neighborhood, all the old people who live in that neighborhood, all depended on going there to get their drugs.
Why in the hell do you think they were
gone?
Good?
Yeah, I mean, it just basically becomes you lose your business, right? You can't support it anymore. You need, you need socialistic.
You need the government,
and then you need them, and then you become part of that, along with the ones that already have it. So now it just becomes a bigger group of people that are dependent upon the government. I mean, it's.
Well, you saw what they did today with the Cubans. They're stopping now. They're going to start turning away Cubans that are coming through Mexico.
I saw that.
They're going to start turning them back to Mexico. Mexico struck a deal with Cuba to turn Cubans back to Mexico, or the Cubans that are in Mexico back to Cuba. And Cuba's like, hell yeah, bring us those traitors.
Yeah,
we got something for them.
We got something lined up for you.
And they're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Send them back there. Everything will be just fine with those people.
They'll love Cuba right now. I heard firsthand all about what's going on over there.
So now, right? Yep. So you see how the giant red wave in Florida happened, right? Mm-hmm. Miami's red, right? So all of a sudden now they don't want Cubans here. Why do you think that is?
The votes.
Why do you think that is? I
mean, they only built Miami.
Come on, bro.
Regardless
if
of how
it isn't why, then that's just really bad timing. I mean, come on, bro. They're like, ooh, no more Venezuelans. When Venezuelans that were legally here and able to vote came out in droves to vote conservative, same with Cubans. Cubans, Venezuelans, no more. Nicaraguans, Guatemalans, Mexicans, everybody else, that's fine. What? How do you just say, oh, no more of these people. You people are okay. These people are not. What?
And one of the two, I know for a fact, first-hand basis, I talked to his dad, who currently still lives in Cuba and is dying to get out of there because the Castro regime is happening again.
Literally, they are dying.
No, I know. He told me all about it through translation. I mean, he was there, but his son can talk English enough where I can understand, and it is bad.
Bad, man.
So when they send them back to Cuba, it's a nightmare. But like I said, they're all red now.
Yeah.
So I would assume that Venezuela probably is too. So now they're picking and choosing who they're going to allow through the fucking border. I mean, come on.
Isn't it awesome?
Jesus.
They're like,
picking. Okay, you can come through all you want, 40 million, whatever, in 2 years. But, you're for red? No, you guys got to go back. But you don't. And they just bury it.
If it's not
Isn't that crazy?
If it's not that, it sure seems like that.
If it's not that, it's that.
Right? Like
if it's not that, it is that. It's just they.
If it looks like shit, it smells like shit. It's shit, bro. Like that's kind of what it seems like to me. Is like, why all of a sudden, no Cubans, no Venezuelans? Like what? Because those people know what the beginning of socialism looks like. And they're like, damn, this seems eerily familiar or similar to what I went through years ago. Kind of seems like the same thing's starting to happen here. Well, I can't have that shit.
You know who I agree with? Graham Hancock. You know what he said? Every president should have done LSD at least 3 times. And then they get to see reality from a different point of view. And then you go in and you be president.
Oh, yeah?
That's interesting.
Well, because he studied those pyramids and went out, like I was telling you before we came on. And everybody would break his balls. Oh, you're a druggie. You're a druggie. You're a druggie. No, he's not a druggie. He was in the Amazon rainforest, and he did it with, professional psychedelic people. And you see the world in a different way than you do normally. And you value nature and things like that. And he studied and studied and studied and fucking forever, his whole damn career, trying to find our history, which is the base, which we completely forgot about history. We don't even know our history.
I mean, we tear our statues down.
To
remind us of
the
our
whole
history,
Amazon
good and bad.
is massive.
Yeah.
And him and his buddy Randall are really the only people
out there licking frogs,
looking to see what happened.
Yeah.
How many ice ages? 3, 4, 7? He's at 10 now that he can calculate.
Global warming, though.
Oh, fucking global warming. Oh, that's where you don't want to get me started.
Global warming is going to be the end, even though we're here and there was an ice age, and now we're here.
Hello, McFly.
So the world didn't end, though, did it then? Or
McFly, Morning McFly.
I don't understand. Wasn't there an ice age?
10. It's been published. 10 ice ages now have been published.
And that didn't take old Mother Earth down?
No, it didn't. Because
but
this
Subaru is
hot. Oh yeah.
That Honda Accord.
Yeah.
That's what's doing it.
Oh, okay. I see. So that little bit of gas is really gonna turn us into a fucking ice age.
No.
It has happened over and over.
Combined with the cows.
With the cows. What are the cows?
They shit. So much, there's so much methane because of it, and because we
are they really saying that?
Yes, because we eat so much beef, we need to eat less beef. Hence, Impossible Burger. Hence, fake meat. We should be eating less beef, which would mean less cows, which would mean less methane. But hey, do they ever say we should have less landfills?
No.
What comes out of landfills? What gas comes out of landfills?
Wow.
50% of the gas that comes out of landfills, it's methane. I just whispered like Joe Biden. Methane. But you don't ever hear them talk about that. You know why? Because waste management gets them elected. Oh, man, isn't that crazy how that happens? We still bury garbage in the ground in this country. But my freaking truck is going to end the world. And that T-bone I had, that's just too much for us to bear. So we're just going to take that trash. We're just going to put it into the earth.
Oh no.
We're just going to keep doing that. That makes a whole shitload of sense.
Oh no, what we actually did was we didn't want to deal with the trash.
No.
We didn't want to recycle it. So we sent all of the trash to China because it's expensive.
100%.
And China said,
barges.
On barges.
That run on diesel.
That
carry trash that's going to be dumped into the ocean in China.
Right.
Or burned with no kind of carbon capture, no kind of technology, just literally burned in a boiler, okay, and right into the sky on a giant ship running diesel all the way there and back 1,000,000 times, just picking up garbage, just spewing that into the air.
No,
but global warming.
But no, what they really
I better
did,
not eat cows.
What they really did was they took all the recycling shit.
Yep.
And the U.S. said, this is too expensive. We don't want to do it. So we're going to send it to China.
Of course.
China gets it and says, wait a minute, we're not paying for this shit. And they just dump it in the ocean.
Yeah.
And that's why you have all these ocean problems. It has nothing to do with global warming. Global warming has happened a gazillion times. All you got to do is look at a history book, even though people don't even know what that is.
It's cyclical. So if we can't stop China and India from doing what they do, it means nothing. You can get an electric car. Congratulations. You're saving the world. Woo! Except for that battery when it cannot be charged and recharged and recharged again.
What?
They're just going to throw it in a landfill.
And guess what's worse than fossil fuels? Lithium that's in battery?
Which there's not a finite amount of. So they're going to just keep digging into the earth and actually physically destroying the earth to get to these. And then to get the electricity that there is generated by burning coal. 80% of all electricity is generated by burning coal. Okay? So you basically have coal-fired cars. Like you got to go get a coal-fired pizza and a coal-fired Tesla.
Wouldn't nuclear fix all this?
Yeah, but they can't have that.
Why?
That's the cleanest way to do it.
Why?
Because what if there's a nuclear catastrophe?
Well, there could be a nuclear catastrophe at any second.
I know.
We might as well freaking use it.
I know. It's okay to use it on submarines and stuff like that. And then but, bro, they need you on that electric. They don't even have enough electricity to power all the homes in California, but go everyone plug their car in.
Yeah.
But at certain times, we're just going to shut it off.
Right. he's the one
because we don't have enough.
Right. He's the one who wants everybody in an electric car by whenever, but yet he's cutting off the electric when it's 90,000 degrees
they can
out.
shut it off whenever they want.
Yeah.
They literally have power companies that control your thermostat.
Yeah.
And when there's not a lot of power, they put that shit to 90.
I mean, is this just like the most just asinine ideas and things?
Bro, I have a high school diploma, man. It's not hard to figure out. It's just common sense, man.
And it all comes back to the same thing that we talked about. For us to need them.
Yeah.
Where that's the only answer to all this nut.
Obama tells you the oceans are rising and then buys a house in Hawaii on the ocean. And buys another house in Martha's Vineyard on the ocean.
Yeah.
But the oceans are rising.
Right.
They're rising so much you invested $60 million into a house.
Wasn't Florida supposed to be
on the
underwater?
ocean?
I thought this was supposed to be underwater in like 5 years.
Of course it is, but yet they just keep putting them buildings up that cost hundreds of millions of dollars right on the ocean.
Right, like as if those engineers and contractors didn't thoroughly research what they're doing.
No way.
No.
They're just winging it.
No, they're just winging it.
They don't
Dropping
care about
half
it.
a
Just
billion.
They don't care about a $500 million building that they put on the water. Dude, if the
And
water
they can't
takes it,
sell 'em fast
so
enough.
be it. Right? They'll just lose that money. It's no big deal. Right? No. They've done their research. It's not going to happen. The end of the story.
I have
That's
to
it.
ask you about this. What do you think about this UFO phenomenon all of a sudden?
I just think that there's just so many people with phones and so many people with access to information. There's just impossible to hide it anymore.
I go back and forth. Is it military? I mean, I believe, I 100% believe.
Bro, how could we
other
be
life.
the only ones?
No,
man?
no. I
Yeah.
There
has to be other people,
1,000% believe that. But what they're showing us, I'm saying, do you think that that's what do they call them? AP, whatever the fuck. I just call it.
It's obviously not what's really there, like, because once again, government believes that they know better than we do, right? So they, in their minds, they believe that the average American would not be able to take the fact that we're not alone, right?
I don't think.
And they would,
I don't think the average American could.
It would turn it into complete chaos in this world.
I think it would.
And the end of the world would be as we know it, right? Well, if that's the case, then that's my fucking decision to make. That's not your decision to make.
True.
That's your decision to make. That's you don't get to determine that for me, bro.
Well,
That's
do.
called freedom.
Well, they do.
Huh? Okay. Well, that's fucked up.
But the ones we're seeing, do you think they're military?
No.
You don't. You think they're all UFO?
100%.
Yeah. I go back and forth all the time. I mean, I definitely think UFOs have been here, but I think the ones we're seeing, I don't know. The one that went into the water, that one.
Well, I mean, at the same time, bro, like they tell you the border is secure, so what can you believe, right? Like I just keep going back to that because if they'll lie about something so blatantly obvious to be true, then they'll lie about everything and anything. So like if the videos you're seeing, right, where are you seeing those videos? Like you're going to a site and watching a video, like maybe they're only showing you what they want you to see, right? Like because you can't, like ultimately, like you can't yourself verify if that video that someone posted is actually real. Like you just gotta look at it and use your common sense and kind of just figure it out on your own. But like, do I think that there's aliens? Yeah, man.
Yeah,
like you were saying, there's clones. Like,
yeah.
I mean, haven't they cloned animals?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I mean, if they've already done that,
they've
like,
already made a heartbeat and a brain with no sperm and no egg.
Yeah, I mean,
look at
that's
this shit.
nuts.
Look. Scientists grow synthetic embryo with brain and beating heart without egg or sperm.
By University of Cambridge.
Now, if they're telling you this, you know that they're 100 million steps ahead of this. This is just what they're leaking out. This is what they're letting you know.
I have to believe that that's true.
Read a little bit of that, Rob.
Scientists from the University of Cambridge have created model embryos from mouse stem cells that form a brain, a beating heart, and the foundations of all the other organs of the body. It represents a new avenue for recreating the first stages of life.
Just playing God, man.
If you, that's nuts. If you could do that, then
just playing God,
you can
bro.
Plant anything you want. I mean,
right
there it is. I mean, that's all you need,
bro. Like they make every apple the same exact way.
Yeah. It's so dangerous.
Every orange is the exact same size and the exact same color. Go to a supermarket and look at the oranges and look at the fruit. Every single thing is the same exact size. It's perfect. Like, bro, they got trees growing perfect apples. Like, what's going on, bro?
Yeah.
Where are we at? Like,
the one guy with the UFO,
It's nuts.
I think it was Andrew Bustamante. He was CIA. He was head of nuke. He was the head of the nuke department in the CIA. And we had played the videos, and he had two conclusions. One, that it was a UFO, but then he pointed out some good shit.
Yeah.
And he said, do you see how calm they are? She's like, oh, that's a lifesaver. Oh, it looks like a lifesaver, kind of. And his theory was, he's retired now. His theory was whatever they did see, whatever that is like a B-roll, like a video, and then it's me and you in a studio talking over what was seen, not actually what was said in the cockpit.
Yeah.
And he also said, like, if you see something like that, like you see this fucking thing, all of a sudden you'd be like, holy shit, look at that. Did you guys see that?
100%.
And call back to base.
And not like,
and they never called
you
back
guys
to base.
see, look at how that's moving. Wow, look at that. You're not going to be like,
oh, that's a lifesaver.
Bro, you see some shit you never saw before, you're going to act like you seen some
like,
shit you never
holy
seen before.
fuck, right? And there was not any of that. So that was interesting. I thought that.
I mean,
And the 5 that we played, not one did they call air traffic control. That's when I was like,
bro, if you're in a deer stand and some crazy ass deer runs out, you about to jump out of your damn boots like, wow, look at that fucking thing.
You ain't lying.
You telling me you see a spaceship? You're not going to be like,
Correct.
fucking, wow, what the fuck did you see that, Bob? Bob, bro, what the fuck was that thing? Like, come on.
me and you are up there and we see that thing drop, we're calling
bro,
back to base.
bro, I'm like,
I don't know
whoa,
if that
whoa,
fucking
hey,
thing's
man.
armed or what.
Did you see what I saw? Yeah, I saw that, bro. What the fuck was that? I don't know.
Are you going to be
know
like, hey, Tommy, doesn't that look like a cute little white lifesaver?
Zero
And that's
chance.
what she said. No way. No way. That's when I started going,
Oh man, yeah, wow. That's
maybe
great.
that's military. We're kind of in a war. Whenever you're in a war, you kind of say, hey, look what I got. You may not want to make that move. When two countries are going to go to war, you give a little bit of a taste. Hey, you want to play?
I don't know. It's like it's hard to like get your mind in on that, like, because it's just like, bro.
So with me,
what came first, the chicken or the egg? And we can just keep going down that road all day. Like, what is going on? Like,
so with me, because
can't
I'm
figure
so
that out.
into it, I'm like so into it. I always read about it. I like the new planets that they find and shit. With the sightings, I just push it to the side because I don't know. It could be, it couldn't be. It's odd that all of a sudden right now when all this border shit's going on, inflation. Oh, there's UFOs. What a great distraction.
look over here. Look at the shiny thing.
Look
bright
like
shiny
this
object.
is the perfect time. So to me,
the thing that drives
and then
me
you can write a book. Now remember that too. So like if you're one of these commanders that are up there, you're retired, and you saw something crazy.
Yeah.
Now you come out. It's an opportunity. Maybe you did see something, but maybe not quite the way you're explaining it. But now you can write a book. You can write a book and make a couple million, maybe. So there's a lot behind that. So I just stick to the other shit. Like scientists, astrophysicists that have been studying it for years and years and years and years, and go by that. Because being that this is released at such an odd time, you don't know what to believe and not to believe. You can't even believe the border.
Well, so you believe in science, not political science.
Correct.
Okay. That's what I believe in too. Real science, not political
Real
science.
right. Like when somebody says, okay, here's data, here's what we see now in space, here's what we know, here's what we're positive
We're not funded by the government.
We're not funded.
Because if we're funded by the government, then whatever it is that they want us to say, well, then that magically will be what I come up with. So, yeah.
That's why I was so big with Grant Hancock.
The thing that always piques my interest is space in a different angle, not UFOs and any of that, but like the satellites that are roving all over, right? The easiest way to take us down is to knock off those satellites.
Yeah.
Everything, our GPS,
everything
is controlled by these satellites in space. So, I always wonder how much is China and Russia, I'm sure they are invested in trying to do something like that, and how much are we invested in trying to protect that? We don't think about that a lot.
We're heavily invested in trying to do the same thing to them.
Yeah.
So if they do it to us, they know that happens to us, that happens to them.
Yeah.
It's just kind of tit for tat. Like, you nuke us, we nuke you. You nuke us, we nuke you. And then until, like, what are we doing here? Right? Like, that's why, like, you see these stalemates in war, man, because we just talk about, we got nukes, but, dude, like, if Putin fires a nuke, man, like, just don't even show up to your job tomorrow morning. Start getting your family ready for the eventual end that is shortly after that. Because once that happens, bro, there's no going back from that.
I don't see.
You detonate a nuke, bro. That's
a big problem.
That's a big problem, man. That's a real big problem just for the entire world too, man, because there's a lot of people and a lot of countries that also have nukes. It's just not Russia and the United States. Pakistan has nukes. Iran has nukes. North Korea has nukes. Even though they say they don't, they do. And if they want them, it ain't hard to get them because Russia has them and China has them. And guess what? Both of them are more than happy to supply someone else with a nuke if they are willing to fire that bitch off. So that's the thing is like, we're not the only ones with nukes. And once it gets to that point, it's like, bro, there will be pandemonium in this country when that happens, bro, because people are going to think that's it.
Yeah.
I fucked my job. I have to protect my family now. We have to get out of here. Like, it's just, it sucks.
Speaking of, I had somebody in real close with all this, and he said, yeah, China wants Trump in bad. So do the others. And I said, what? They want him in? I mean, right now they got a free pass. He goes, no, they want to negotiate. All these countries want to negotiate. Like, we give a little, they give a little. Okay, you want to take a little bit of Taiwan? Okay, all right. Take a little bit of Taiwan. We'll back off a little bit. Negotiation.
Yeah.
That's
conducting
gone.
Business.
Right. We give, they give, everybody's happy, and you have more of a peaceful situation rather than what you're seeing now where you see China aligning with Russia, with Iran, with Serbia, with, however you say it, North Korea, South Korea. That's a hell of a lineup.
Yeah,
a lineup you do not want to buck with.
I mean, it's just, like Kim Jong-un, bro. Like, what's this guy got to lose? You know what I'm saying?
He's
like
a ticking time bomb.
He really is,
He needs somebody in there that, like a Trump, to go talk to him and say, hey, look, let's make your country like
Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman. Yeah. They made Rolex. They made a Rolex, really. And he went to California instead of Miami.
He made a Rolex?
No, Rolex came to him, and they made a Dennis Rodman Rolex, and they were supposed to do the shoot in Miami. For whatever reason, he thought he was supposed to go to California. They're down in Miami waiting for him, Bobby and AJ and these other guys that manage him. Yeah. And Bobby's the video guy. And here's Dennis in California. Where are you guys?
Hanging out, man.
And they're like, Dennis, it was in Miami, like right down the street. But he ended up eventually getting to the shoot.
Yeah.
But kind of funny. Pull up John's Instagram. I love it. You always got good shit on your Instagram. My favorite is the slow-mo of your truck.
Oh, yeah. That Carrie Lake picture. She was awesome, dude.
I think she might be in the running.
Dude, she's awesome. She's an absolute savage, bro.
How do you think she would be as a president?
Amazing.
I saw a great video.
She doesn't take any shit. She knows how to handle the media because she was the media. She's very down to earth. She is very aggressive, and she loves the country, man. Loves this country, bro.
Did you see the video of her? She was walking in. I think it was the night of the election, and she was walking into, her whatever party thing. And there's a CNN reporter out. It was a Chinese woman, and it works for CNN. And she said something to her like, "Hey," or whatever. And she walked Carrie Wakes.
Can I get an interview?
She goes, "What's your name?" And she said, "Whatever from CNN." She goes, "Oh, you're not wearing a mask today."
Yes. Oh yeah, you're not wearing.
She goes, "We're outside." She goes, "Oh, but we're within 6 feet."
And started crucifying her.
Oh my God! It was
dude, she's the best. That's it. Like she's the best. She's really
funny.
She's really cool in person. You know what I'm saying? Like as you would expect, not a like a uppity like person at all. Like very cool, very funny, very pissed off.
Do you think if Trump doesn't run, she'd have a chance, a good chance
to win? If Trump didn't run, it's DeSantis. I mean, DeSantis is above her. I mean, at the end of the day, DeSantis has won.
Is what?
He won. Like, it's going to end up that she does not become the governor of Arizona because that is what's going to happen. Just like Trump didn't become president of the United States and they screwed the election, they also did the same thing to her. They absolutely screwed her, and it sucks. But she's not going to be the governor of that state. Okay? So, like, you know, at the end of the day, winning does matter too.
I think DeSantis will be right here in Florida as long as Trump is involved.
I believe that to be the case as well.
Yeah.
You know, at
After
the end
Trump's
of the
done,
day, it's not about a single person. It's about the conservative party and keeping that going as long as we possibly can, right? So like if DeSantis decides to run now, we're going to lose a potential 12 straight years of presidential control of the White House. Because if Trump runs and wins, which he will beat Biden, right? Unless obviously they cheat again, which they're going to try.
Not going to cheat?
Well, they're going to because we lost Arizona. So we're not going to win Arizona because they're going to cheat Arizona. So that's why it was so important for us to get the governorship of that state so she could change the election laws so we can actually have a fair election in that state like we do in Florida.
That's why it took
where everyone votes,
3 weeks.
and at the end of the night, here's the winner.
How long
Not
did it end up
13
taking
days
them?
later, we're still counting
Still
votes.
counting.
They're still fucking
Yes.
counting now?
In Maricopa County, they're still counting 13 days later.
And I want to say like Alaska or somewhere. I forget where else.
So
they're still counting.
that's the thing, bro, is like we didn't get that done yet. Hopefully they do overturn it because they apparently what I was reading is they won't certify the election.
How
So
close is it?
it was close, very close.
like 800 votes. I think.
It was very close. It's thousands, but it's not a lot, right? So that's the point is we needed to win that state so they can reform the election laws like he did in Florida. And that's it. And guess what? We have a fair and free election where they vote at the end of the night. The votes are counted. Here's the winner.
They'll never let them win.
So that's the thing is if we can't win these states where and just by pure luck, it just all the swing states happen to be the ones that are cheated, right? So Pennsylvania, oh yeah, John Fetterman won. The guy that looks like he's got a meatloaf in the back of his neck, wears a hoodie everywhere he goes, even though the guy is, bro.
I don't know
John
that one.
Fetterman. The guy can't talk.
But see, that was a perfect one to play because you could say, well, Dr. Drew's too Hollywood, Dr. Drew's too celebrity.
But he can speak. He's a doctor. At least you know the guy's smart. He's
we're
very
both for
smart.
PA. Do you think?
Come on.
How much cheating up there with that?
Yeah,
Because I could see a lot of people in PA
Philadelphia,
going,
Philadelphia.
Dr.
Oh,
Drew's
yeah.
too.
Philly?
Philadelphia had a
Bro,
lot.
you know Philly. Come on.
What's that, right?
Better than anybody.
Philly had a lot. They had a lot of illegal votes. That they
Yeah,
said.
they did.
A lot. Hey, you know.
But I didn't like Oz, man. You know, and I'm a Trump guy all the way, bro. But I didn't like Oz. I thought that was a bad. I thought that was a bad selection. I'm just an average Joe, so I'm going to tell you from an average Joe's perspective of what I think about Oz. I think like he's a fake dude. I think that he's a rich, famous, wants to live in Palm Beach, act like he's a Pennsylvania guy through and through. And I think that is a big reason, plus the cheating, which definitely happened in Pennsylvania. But he just came off as not authentic. And I think even though Fetterman is such a retard and is so bad, okay, he came off as like, I'm a Pennsylvanian, right? Like, and it's just like, it's hard to elect a senator where you think is like, I'm for Pennsylvania, and like you live in Gardens.
Right, and you're Hollywood to Hollywood gets.
Yeah,
and I think that's how
and he just
PA
comes off fake, the fake smile, the plastic surgery, you know, it says that everything is always perfectly said, and it just
Too
comes off
scripted.
as a slimy politician.
scripted. I mean, obviously,
And the
they
other dude
cheated.
comes off as like the dude with the hoodie, I'm for the working man. But then he says, I want to release murderers from prison. I don't think anybody should go to prison, and I'm going to try and make that happen in Pennsylvania.
But you know what, though? But then all the people that go to prison are like, oh, yeah, he's great. Or you know, I want to make every drug legal. So I think even without the cheating, I think it would have been tight.
Yeah.
Just based on that.
Just because
the cheating just pushed it over the edge. But John Fetterman might have won without any cheating. Just because, like you said,
he was a bad candidate.
He was a bad candidate. Not for Pennsylvania.
Not for
You
Pennsylvania.
can't put a guy like that in Pennsylvania.
Cali, Oz is winning.
Cali, those
South
kind of
Florida,
states, yeah.
where it's like, ooh, plastic surgery
Right.
and money and flashy and
Not
suits.
up
Like,
there.
bro, you can't have this dude running in Pennsylvania. man. Come on, man.
Again, I honestly think he probably would have won
Maybe
even
if he's
without
like
the
a
cheating.
Philly guy and he had the accent, and I'm from Philly. I was born in the outskirts of Philly. Let's go Phillies. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, Let's go
you
Eagles.
can't
I'm at the
just-
home games.
and
I'm out on the field.
Philly's vicious. It's a vicious
Yeah.
place. And when you got Mr. Hollywood coming
Philly-
in,
No,
even if the guy can't talk,
No.
they're going to vote for the guy that they feel most related to or grew up in town because it's old school. Just like we always say, if I go back there now, whatever John Doe was doing 30 years ago, John Doe is doing right now. Nothing changes. They live in the same development, same neighbors, their kids are born, they do the same shit. So although Fetterman can't put together a speech much better than Biden, I mean,
Yeah.
they would have a close race at times. I still think Fetterman would beat Dr. Drew without the cheating, honestly.
My buddy said he voted for McCormick. I think that's who went against
Yeah.
Oz the first time. And he said to me, he says, when McCormick lost to Oz, he's like, Oz isn't winning.
Yeah.
I said, how do you know this? He says, I'm telling you, he's not winning. He's kind of what you said. He's just too fake.
Yeah.
He's not from Pennsylvania, right? He moved like Hillary Clinton moved to New York, same sort of deal.
Correct.
But, you know, he moved there, and he didn't even try to like fit in, like like you said,
Yeah.
I go to Eagles games, or go get a
Yeah.
cheesesteak.
And
go
his
His kids are living in gardens, going
Yeah,
to the
private
mall,
school.
shopping at Gucci. So, like, when you think of Pennsylvania, you don't think of, man, Pennsylvania, Dr. Oz.
No,
That's Pennsylvania.
You think hoodie,
Yeah.
bald head,
The shtick.
little heavy,
Little fat,
little fat, a little bit too much bud.
even though all of the other things about him suck.
Yep.
Like, he's never worked a real job. His parents are rich.
he's
He's
hometown.
lived off them, but he puts the hoodie on. He wears the basketball shorts. He looks like a complete doofus. He acts like a complete doofus, and he gets complete doofuses that vote for him.
Exactly. And then he says a few things that a lot of people like that
Yeah.
he can spit out, and then they do a medical thing, and somehow they say he's competent.
Now, do you think that's a problem too with maybe the campaign people in each state? Like, couldn't somebody have said to Oz, like, all right, everyone knows who you are already. There's no question that everyone
Yes.
knows who Dr. Oz is.
Yes.
But let's show a little, like, you're not that stuck up, stickety guy.
Right, like
You're-
go there in a sweatshirt
Like,
and jeans.
correct.
Or-
Fucking hat.
Hey, or just be who you are, and don't try to act like you're someone you're not. Say, guys, I know that you guys don't think I'm like a real Pennsylvanian, but let me explain something to you, man. Do you want a guy that's going to make your life better, right? Even though, yeah, I live here and I have a house here or whatever. Yeah, I wasn't born and raised like most of you Pennsylvanians were, but I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that the Pennsylvanians that live in this state right now have the best state in the country. Yes, I'm rich. Yes, I'm famous. I make a lot of money. I spend a lot of time in South Florida, okay, because I work my ass off and I want to have the best things in life. But, okay, I was at one point in my life the working person. I worked my way through college. I worked my ass off for this. I'm a worker. I'm going to work for you, okay? I'm going to do the best job, blah, 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 blah. Vote for me because I'm competent, because I know what I'm doing, and look what I've done with my life. Like, and just sell yourself.
Right.
But also
that's
let them know you know.
And tell
what you
the
think of me.
stories and tell the stories about the hard work that you did growing
Yes,
up.
man.
Forget about what you're gonna do if you get in.
But
No,
that's like-
you're
See,
not
I'm
gonna
not trying
get
to
in.
relate to Phil the electrician from
Right.
Philly who goes off of work right to happy hour from 5 to 6:30 or 6. He's drinking. Then he comes home. Dinner's ready. He puts his pail down. Hey, honey. He's not pissed off anymore because he had an hour to relax, had a couple of drinks and a couple of beers, whatever. Comes home. Like, don't try to act like him. Tell that dude, hey, listen, man, I'm not, like, I don't know about what your life is like, bro, because I live in a different thing. This is, you know what I'm saying? But I want what's best for you. I really do. As a Pennsylvanian, I'm going to try my hardest to make your life better. Okay, maybe you can buy 3 or 4 more drinks for a couple other people this time next year because I saved you money.
If he would have said that,
Come on, bro. That's so easy to
bro,
do.
that's all he would have had to say. I'm going to save you money to buy 3
I
or
am
4
rich
more
and
drinks,
famous.
and I guarantee you that would have been another 10%.
That's what I'm
Bro,
saying.
listen, I am rich and I am famous. Everyone knows that. I'm not shying away from it. I'm not picking potatoes in a farm in Pennsylvania. But brother, I'm going to try and save you on fertilizer. All right? So you can make more money. That's what I'm going to try and do because I'm a millionaire. And the reason I'm a millionaire is because I'm good at what I do. And I will be good at what I do for you.
If you would have coached him,
Done.
the outcome might have been different. What do you think?
Be who you are. Stop trying to act like you're a fucking plumber. You're not a plumber. You're a fucking rich ass dude.
Yeah,
that has the best in life, and there's nothing wrong with that.
And talk like
but
improper just once in a while.
Be that dude.
Just say something wrong once.
Bro, they always try to be someone they're not.
He could have ate a cheesesteak. Yes, I haven't seen
come on, bro. Go to
a fucking cheesesteak.
Yeah, go to a rally, and you're rich, right? Buy everybody cheesesteaks.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's what he should have.
He's knocking on doors trying to convince people that he's a Pennsylvanian. Yeah. I'm going into bars at 5 o'clock and buying drinks for everybody, and this bitch is drinking on me tonight.
And I'm going in there in jeans and a t-shirt and drinking with him.
Yes, come on, man.
I'll tell you what. If you watch the World Series, right? You saw the World Series.
Yeah.
David Ortiz, Big Papi, was doing the fucking pregame with Alex Rodriguez and all those guys.
Yeah.
Phillies fans do not like Red Sox fans.
Nope.
Do not like Yankees fans. Do not like any of that. So Big Papi stands up with a fucking Eagles jersey on, and the fucking crowd loves him now.
Yeah.
He's like, he's getting free food. He's going around to the cheesesteak place. They're giving Big Papi fucking food. All because he wore an Eagles jersey and did the Eagles chant.
Yeah.
Simple stuff. I mean, don't pretend what you're not, but just give a little something.
Just, bro, you're a dude. You know what dudes want? Don't be so
bougie.
Fake.
Don't be so bougie.
Man, we know you're rich. We know that you could literally do anything you want anytime you want to do it. I get that, bro. I'm cool with that. Good for you. But don't act like you go to work every day. You wake up at 5 a.m. and you're worried about like how you're going to keep the electricity on.
It all comes back to what you said and was a great point. He was the worst pick possible for a place like Pennsylvania. The worst.
Yeah, the other guy would have been McCormick. Would have been the safer and probably would have won.
Yeah,
if he ran.
And you know, and like I said, man, you know, that was one thing that I think that they got wrong. That I think they know that they now looking back that they got wrong. But you know, I don't know what the reasons were.
What about Herschel Walker?
I was just going to ask that.
So bad.
Well, they are. It's a runoff. It's going to runoff.
I want Herschel Walker to run too.
That's still not done either.
No, it's a runoff.
But this is the problem, like I said, with term limits, right, man? Like,
how's he looking?
It's a runoff, bro. Like, it's going to be neck and neck.
What's the percentage chance you think he wins?
50-50, bro.
Yeah, literally.
It's that close, homie.
And
50-50.
When will we know?
December
6th.
Yeah.
Well,
9th or 6th.
What?
The 6th, but so they didn't get 50% of the vote. In Georgia, you get 50%.
Correct.
One got like 49.6, the other got 49.2.
Yeah.
So none of them got the threshold for 50.
Yep.
So those two have to run, and now the third guy's out. There was another guy who got
a libertarian got like 2% or something.
So he's gone. Now it's just them two. And
so now they're fighting for those votes, essentially.
Correct. So now whoever gets it, gets it. So it could come down to 200 votes.
That libertarian got like 80,000 votes or 130,000 votes. And now they're like, bro, we got to get these votes from this guy. This is going to be the difference between making it or not.
Well, how do you get those votes?
Well, you
just
again.
Well, they're
doing it again.
They're doing it again.
Holy shit!
Yeah, they're already. Herschel Walker campaigned the night after the election. That next day, he held a rally.
Yep.
Oh,
a
so
campaign
it's like
they're
nother
raising money
campaign
again. Yeah, for commercials.
Wow.
Yeah,
I hope he pulls it off.
Yeah, I hope so.
Oh,
too,
I
man.
hope so. I hope so.
But you know, like I said,
probably won't though.
It's just it's
how important is Georgia?
How George? I mean, it's gigantic.
Is it?
It's gigantic. I mean, that's the difference between them having control of the Senate or not.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit! So that's really important.
It's incredibly important, man. And
I bet they're trying to find every way possible right now to fucking sneak that shit in.
God, man, candidates. God, it's just so tough to find good candidates, man.
Yep.
Nobody wants to run, bro.
Because they're going to dig up the dirt.
Brutal.
If you've ever done anything in your life, it's going to come out.
Brutal. They go through your family. They destroy everything and anything.
Family should be off limits. It should be off limits. You shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Bro, it's brutal, man. That's why nobody wants to put themselves through it. And people ask me all the time, when are you running, bro? When are you running?
You don't want to.
You got to run. You got to run. And I'm like, but do I got to run? Like, sure. Does it sound good to say, man, it would be awesome for me to be a congressman and try to really hammer these dudes, right? But it's like,
at what cost?
But like, does anything really get done, man?
No, it doesn't.
Well,
it's a circle jerk.
Does anything really get done?
No, it's a circle
like,
jerk.
are there any congressmen where you're like, man, that one person has changed so much in this world.
Not in my lifetime.
Right? So like, I think that I can change way more as a civilian in this world for the better as a civilian than I could as a congressperson or a senator or anything like that.
I agree with you, because whatever you do change, the years that you're in,
They switch it.
they're just, whenever the party switches, it all gets axed anyway.
So I get that pulling on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the want to like officially, legitimately try to change things from the inside and getting, you know, and getting enough people like me elected. And that's what Trump is doing right now by getting these MAGA Republicans elected all over the United States, is trying to get the rhinos out, which he did get a lot of rhinos out this time, right? So the thought is that if we need to get in like-minded individuals and get them elected in the office, which is what we just tried to pull off currently, right? And we got a bunch, right, of rhinos out and MAGA Republicans in, right? So it's like we got to keep that going, but it's like then Arizona happens and Kerry Lake gets screwed, and then Fetterman gets elected and Oz gets what happened to him, right? So it's just like, it's super frustrating, and it makes you look at it and say, why the fuck would I run, man? Like what I'm doing now, I feel like I'm all about making the greatest impact that I can make, right? And that's why I say, like, if you're an investor that's out there and you wind up listening to this and you have a ton of money and you're trying to figure out what the hell I can do in this world good with some of this money I have, invest that shit in me, because I do these things with no fucking money, man, right? I have no money. I'm not some rich person that has hundreds of thousands of dollars in my bank account. I do not have that, okay? But I always say, let someone that has millions invest in me. I will change this fucking world. I guarantee you. It pisses me off that people like that have billions and millions and hundreds of millions and 50 million or $30 million in the bank, and I do a fucking million times more than those motherfuckers do, and they got more money than they know what to do with, and I ain't got shit, and I do way more than the motherfuckers do, and it pisses me fucking off, bro. Just infuriates me that these people sit on their fucking money when there's fucking dogs that are dying out on the border. There's fucking trash everywhere. There's veterans sleeping under every fucking bridge in this country, and no one gives a fuck. They just keep their money and they hold on to it and they hold on to it and they pass it down to their kids, and their kids do the same shit and they just keep passing it. So if you're rich out there and you want a motherfucker to invest in that will change this thing, give me that money. You'll see what happens. I'll blow your goddamn mind. You want to see it clean up? I'll clean up all 2,000 miles of that border, bro.
3 things. If you got involved where you ran or were talking about running, when you go to Eagle Pass, when you go to Del Rio, wherever you go, everything will be different, because you're John the citizen trying to help out.
Yes.
If you're now running and you're doing all this, it's going to be a whole different ballgame when you go out there.
Yes.
You won't be able to accomplish what you're accomplishing now if you're in that loop. You know that, and I know
100% I know that. They're going to tell me what I want to hear when I go there instead of telling me the truth, because that's how it works.
So you can do much more from the outside.
100%.
The million and billionaires, it's either one, they don't give a shit, they just want their money, or 2, they don't want to invest in a Republican or a Democrat, because now they're attached to that. They could affect their money that they have, because if, say they invest in you and they got, $10 billion clients that they deal with, and 5 of them are Democrat, right? In their mind, and they probably will, they're going to lose that $5 billion a year that they make, or $5 million, whatever it may be, by putting their money with you. So that's one reason why I think they wouldn't. The other reason is they just want their money and could care less, because they don't, they have nothing to worry about. And what you're doing as a citizen is going to go a lot longer way. And eventually, I do think as you keep doing this,
I won't need an investor.
You won't need an
That's
investor.
100%. I know that. Right. I'm working my ass off with my moving company to get it big enough to where I can sell it, and then I can really do some damage in the helping department.
Oh yeah, and then we'll go.
That's my goal, is to grow this thing into a monster moving company franchise, which I just franchised my business. So in a very couple of short few months, you'll be able to buy a Blue Line franchise. But my main goal is to make this place a better place for my children, man. You know what I mean? And I want to do things that I care about, and cleaning up trash and helping Americans and places that never get help, and just finding out that I have this love for dogs that I never really knew I had, and helping dogs out, and and doing these kinds of things, and like taking 13 veterans out that are Purple Heart recipients to go free diving with sharks off the coast of Jupiter. Maybe I could take 50 out the next time.
Man.
You know what I mean? Or do more of those. Donated a fire truck to the island of Bimini in the Bahamas when the hurricane washed theirs away. And that fire truck has saved hundreds of people already, or tens of people already. You know what I mean? Like, I want to do more shit like that. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to build this business to at some point enable me to be able to do that without needing anybody. But man, would it sure be nice if I did have somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I could just fast forward while I'm still young and get to the point where we can just start getting this shit done.
And you never know. You never know, especially when you bring animals in.
Yeah, man.
You start to wake up
a
lot of people with animals.
I don't need a lot. I don't need 10 million. I don't need 5 million.
You see how that dog touched you?
Yeah, man.
Animals touch people.
They do.
You can go to the border all you want, but when you start doing the animal thing, the whole thing changes.
That's like when you talk about all the money and stuff. You talk about taxes. You talk about all the stuff that taxes go to, right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm one that if you're going to tax people, fine, to an extent, right? There's always extremes with everything. But actually use that tax money to help people to do things.
Yeah.
But it's like, nope, the tax dollars went to some fund to research pigs in wherever country, or they throw all this bullshit in there.
There are countries with better bridges than we have, and we give them money.
Use that money for the people here.
Yeah, all these countries have better, like there's so many, we're ranked, 32nd in the world in education?
I think we're way down.
Whatever the number is,
Our
all
reading
those
is like
countries
64.
that are in front of us, we give almost every one of those countries money.
If you actually
Our
knew,
money.
If you actually knew where your tax dollars were going, like if you physically knew, like, John, we're going to use this money, this actual money out of your paycheck, it's going to go to help a veteran.
Ukraine.
Well, but if instead, if it was
of course,
it was to help
Ukraine for what?
If it was to help a veteran, you might be more
go to
like, you know
FTX.
what?
Oh.
That's fine. I'm happy with my
Yes.
taxes going to helping that.
100% correct.
But we don't know where our taxes
And we're $30 trillion in debt. So obviously the money we give them is not going where it's supposed to go, because there should be no debt, right? But there were $30 trillion in debt, and that's the problem. Is they spend tax money on trying to convince you that trannies reading stories to children is like the right thing to do in El Salvador. Like, Google that. That's a real thing that happened. The government gave grants to places in El Salvador for trannies to like read books to children and stuff like that in El Salvador. So that's real. Put trannies, U.S. government money, El Salvador, and the story will come up.
Yeah, you have to go to Google and do it.
You don't even have to put book reading. Just put like government grant El Salvador.
Can you explain to me what happened with GoFundMe? We've been trying to get a clear answer. What happened with GoFundMe?
Well, I mean, they're just a communist company, right? So like, that's why everyone does. If you're a conservative, you use Give, Send, Go, right? So you that's all conservatives use Give, Send, Go.
What did GoFundMe do? Because it is so buried. Whatever happened with them?
Well, it's the same thing that PayPal is doing, trying to find people money for disagreeing with things that you say. GoFundMe is controlling. Like, if I want to start a GoFundMe for Donald Trump to get him back on Twitter, right? Like, they will not allow that to happen.
Or do they allow it to happen to 50 grand and take the 50 grand? They
That's
did something
too.
with 90 grand.
But now they've done it with millions. Like,
really?
Oh yeah, I mean,
so buried,
bro. They're another one of those companies that hates us.
Wow.
Right? PayPal, all these big corporations, bro. They absolutely look at me, and I am for real the devil to these people, bro. Like, they look at me with this hat on right now, saying the things that I'm saying, and I might be the worst fucking person walking this planet right now. Even though I literally was picking up women's tampons from countries in Central and South America, over the last 2 years, and dirty diapers full of shit, and people's clothes, and their shoes, and their underwear, like picking up actual trash, doing something for this country.
Condoms.
And I'm the bad guy. Yeah, condoms. I'm a horrible person.
Kind of like risking your life.
Yeah, just saving 40 dogs, going to Baltimore, picking up 26 tons of garbage in the streets of Baltimore, saving 2 dudes that OD'd in front of us, going to Del Rio, exposing the fact that their government is keeping 25,000 Haitians under a bridge there, finding, picking up tons and tons of trash along the southern border in Eagle Pass, exposing that there's literally dead bodies laying on the ground there, and saving 40 dogs. But I am a horrible human being. And they all say that from the comfort of their own home.
And meanwhile, you've left your family behind to go do this.
That's correct, and put myself in potential danger, donated a truck to the Bahamas. I mean, I can go on and on about the things that we do, right? And the thing is, I do them for my kids.
Yeah.
Because people have to start doing things. We're losing this country, man. I don't know how else to say it to you. And everybody out there, just because you don't see it in your little bubble, okay, hop out of your little, pop that bubble and explore a little bit, and you will see that this country is slipping away.
You know how people look at me now? I tried to talk to 4 people, just a little bit, and they look at me like I'm nuts.
Yeah.
They're like, well, that, it doesn't affect me. I don't do anything wrong. And I'm like, you don't understand. Tommy, you're crazy. You've been doing too many podcasts, talking to these people. Yeah, I've been talking to people that you, in a gazillion years, you couldn't have the education that they have.
Correct.
Well, they don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, hello, the one guy has more vaccines patented than anybody. The other guy is the top research psychologist probably that ever fucking lived.
Yeah.
Peter McCullough is by far the top cardiologist in the world, if not ever. Ward, he worked with every government on the planet, moving billions and billions and billions of dollars. He dealt with every one of them, including the fact that in fucking 19, it was the United States Corporation. No, in 18, and by 20, the United States Corporation went bankrupt. So Biden is working for a bankrupt corporation. So is Ireland, England, Mexico, China. There's like 10 of them.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah, but they don't know what they're talking about.
No.
I know who knows what they're talking
nuts,
about.
Right?
You know who knows what they're talking about, right? It's the government. They know what they're talking about.
Right. Did you find?
But no, I can't. It's not popping up. Sorry.
Yeah. So that they were sort of giving money to El Salvador when he's Central American country. Maybe it was a Central American country. It wasn't El Salvador. It was one of them. But they were giving money to them to learn about. They're trying to bring that shit down there, right? And like, this is a very religious place. But that's the thing, man. It's like, I have to do something at this point, man. I can't have trainees reading books to kids, bro.
No.
I just can't have it, man.
Did you see?
I gotta start doing something for this country. And
did you see What Is a Woman?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll wake it. These people. Did you see that yet?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to watch
Matt Walsh.
That. I mean, he goes and interviews these people, and it's not like they don't. I mean, they know he's got cameras there, and half of them are just talking like, well, yeah, yeah, we talk about, sometimes 7 years old, sometimes 8, 7 and 8. They don't even know who they are at 7 and 8. Pull up John's Instagram before I go nuts on that one.
These people.
Because I have a daughter now.
Oh, come on.
Fuck.
Man. They're coming for. Trust me, they are coming for her.
Well,
they want to control
going anywhere.
They want to control that heart and that mind, bro.
I'll be Mr. Teacher.
Yeah.
I'll go back to hell to school if I need to.
You have to.
I have to.
You have to be involved in your kids' lives like that, because when they go to school, they're telling their kids that cops are bad people.
Well, I'll tell you right now, unless things change, she's not going to school. She's not going to public school.
And have you ever noticed in your life? I'm just going to say something to you, and you tell me the first thought that pops into your mind about this kind of group of people: homeschooled kids. First thing you think of, like when you think of homeschooled kids, growing up throughout your whole life.
Stupid. They're not going to have any social skills.
Keep going.
Social skills.
No social. No way. There's no way they're going to have no social skills, right?
Yeah, they'll have no social skills. They won't have friends. Yeah. They're going to be like secluded from everybody else.
Right.
And now
and then you're like, fuck, I'm putting my kid in government controlled school.
Okay.
No.
Right.
Me?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
They get you to think,
right.
That is what your kid, they're telling you about your kid, bro.
Right.
That your kid is going to be this and that and this and that. If you don't put him in government-controlled school, he will be this person.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, put him in government-controlled school? I don't want him to be this person, even though that's the best person. This is the person he should be.
Right. I don't want him to be a mute. I want him to be in sports and have friends and people to hang out with.
No.
Now I'm like,
even though
Right
like,
here's the house.
Yes, even though like, oh, my kid's 7 years old, he's homeschooled. How is he going to play sports? I don't know. Like, you just sign him up for baseball
And fucking drive him
at
there.
the local town, and then he plays baseball. Like what? Like
It's not that hard.
You don't have to go to school to play a sport. I don't know if you know that or
Yeah,
not.
I'd have to read.
Man, and also, did you know if you're homeschooled, say you go to homeschool, you're homeschooled in high school, right? You can still play for the school that you're zoned for. You can be the quarterback of that team and not even go to that high school.
But John, you'd have to get off social media to read that.
You could, but that,
come on,
those homeschool kids, they're going to be like little zombies running around. You can't.
Oh
have
yeah,
that.
no, I think they're probably
those
going to
kids
be
are going to be like
ones,
the crazy kids. Those are
yeah.
probably the ones that go shoot up a school.
You mean
so get your kid in that government control.
What you mean
school.
is they're going to be the ones that aren't getting sex changes at 8 years old?
Yeah.
Oh,
because
okay.
They can't have you, Kevin, your kids at home because they need your kid learning about stories from a transvestite.
Oh, great. And there's no wood shop. There's no cooking class.
No.
There's no nothing. And history is not history.
And you better have a rainbow flag somewhere.
Oh, that's
if you
right.
don't,
We have
then
Rainbow
you don't
Day.
like gays, even though like your kid's in like second grade doesn't even know what that
gay
is. What?
And nor would she
Or
give a
third,
shit.
or fourth grade, or fifth grade, or what are we talking about gay?
Why are we even bringing that up?
Why
at
is my
these
teacher
ages?
telling my kids that she's a lesbian? What? I don't understand what's going on. So that is that. Like that's school, bro.
Yep.
And it's not every school. It's not like this everywhere, but it is happening. And to say that it's not happening that's just a dumb thing to say. Because it is definitely happening in a lot of schools.
Knows that if it will not be in every school.
They're trying to put it in every school.
Sure as hell
That's
are.
why local elections are the most important ones because they have the biggest direct effect on your actual life. Like
People forget about
just
that.
forgetting about a school board will have a tranny in your school teaching your kid. If you don't know about them school board elections, bro, they will be reading books to your kids about how cops are bad and you should not like them. And about how your parents aren't the ones that should teach you anything. They should be the ones that, like, if you don't get involved in these local
How
elections,
they manipulate the kids.
you will
is
have
so
prosecutors that release people from jail, no problem. And you will have teachers that teach your kids that they need to be gay or it's okay to dress like a woman when they're in second grade. Like, they're still sleeping a nappy time in school. Like, why does my kid know that you're a lesbian? Doesn't even know what that is. But he just told me, my teacher told me
tell
that.
John the story. John will love this one. You got to tell him, Rob, then we'll do his Instagram. Then we'll let him out of the handcuffs.
My son last year came home and said to me that one of the teachers, Mr., let's just use the name Smith. I actually don't remember the name. But it's like Mr. Smith, he's changed his name. I'm like, oh, changed his name? Whatever. I don't know. And he'd like to be referred to now as Master Smith. Master Smith?
Oh,
I'm like,
okay.
What is this? He's, I guess, not a man or a woman.
Yeah.
He's,
of course not.
whatever.
He's mentally ill. Keep going.
He is Master Smith. So I sent an email and I put, Dear Mr. with the big M and the big R period, Smith. Just had a few concerns about my son coming home with some questions. The man never responded back to me.
That's weird.
Ever.
So, yeah. And those are the people teaching kids.
Sounds safe. Sounds like a great
that's
place.
Totally normal.
Go to his Instagram.
Totally normal.
Fucking crazy, John.
So this is Blue Line's Instagram. And then obviously you have my personal Instagram where I have a lot more videos and stuff on there too. But there's KFC Barstool. There's Rachel Campos Duffy. She was really cool. So yeah, man, I've just, there's Cavuto for the hurricane relief efforts that we had. We sent,
Play that one, Rob.
3 trucks over there.
Unmute it.
Founder, Blue Line Moving owner, a U.S. Army veteran, just said, look, there's a need here, there's a cause, and we got to help these people. And he's done it in one disaster after another. And he always has such an upbeat attitude. You feel guilty if you're whining about anything. John, very good to have you again. How are things looking there right now?
Thanks, Al. I'll tell you what, I've never seen people working together so great, man. I mean, the attitudes of all the people, there's no politics down there right now. It's just
they even
Americans
put
helping
Blue Line
Americans.
Moving up there.
Floridians giving back from all over the state, driving there, bringing donations, tarping roofs. I've never seen so many church disaster services in one spot at one time, just helping people. The attitudes are upbeat, they're recovering, and they're doing well with the help of so many people.
What do folks need there, John? What do you need?
They need tarps. It seemed like every roof that I saw there had some kind of damage to it. It didn't look like anybody escaped, at least missing something from their roof. So there's a shortage of tarps down there, so we're trying to focus on getting tarps and roofing supplies over there so we can get people their roofs patched up and tarped up, and then also socks, children's Motrin and Tylenol, diapers and wipes, stuff like that. The basic necessities are still in need. So we're still collecting over here in Jupiter, Florida, at Blue Line Moving and Tiki 52. These are some of the drop spots that we have lined up, and people are bringing donations like crazy.
And you're leading that effort. John, thank you very, very much. John Bork, we will update the kind of supplies.
Congratulations on that, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's scroll through a couple more.
Yeah, that was down there, man. Like, it was freaking nuts.
There he is.
There's people like brought generators. Like, yeah, that was a church we donated those generators to.
A lot of work, man. Oh,
Boats.
I hope they had insurance.
Yeah,
I'm sure they were smart enough.
Yeah. So we also did a very cool thing, which is I did Amazon drop sites. So I saw someone that did that a while ago for a disaster, and basically you're just find an address that's secure, and you put it out there, and you're like, if you want to donate and you live in fucking Montana, go to your Amazon, buy a case of wipes, and ship it to this address. And people from all over the damn world started sending stuff to this church in Fort Myers, bro.
Very cool.
And they were like, bro, once Amazon got back up, because they got back up and running quick, bro. Like, these dudes were on the road, like, delivering like 3 days after the hurricane tore through, and you're seeing Amazon guys delivering stuff. So I was like, that's the fastest and best way to keep a steady flow of things coming every day. That Amazon truck pulls up and is all floating water, is all floating whatever. So that was a really good idea that we did. And then obviously, you know, I've been in Cavuto a couple of times for a couple of different things for the border. Cavuto had me on to talk about the border. Just, you know, there's that pile of trash that we had put up there. Yeah, man. We had to bring a skid steer in. There's a Border Patrol agent. Look at that.
Look at that mess.
And as a matter of fact, I saw that area. It looks exactly like that now. After we clean it up, it's already.
Even after all that.
Yeah, it's already back.
How does that make you feel, man? You do all that work, right?
Yeah.
I'm not meaning this in a rude way.
No, I know.
Like, for what? Like, then it's right back to what you, and maybe worse than what you fucking. Like, how does that make you feel? You just did all that work, and now it's back to the same shit.
I feel like that if by me doing this, I got someone somewhere else to do something somewhere else, then it was a success for me. Like, I know going into it that as soon as I clean it up, it's just going to become dirty again. But maybe I motivated somebody somewhere else that saw me get off my ass and do something, and maybe they decided, you know what, I'm going to do something too, and I'm going to clean up the beach at my town or whatever. That's me. For me, that's what it was really about. I know what's going to happen there.
Or worst case, it's not double.
Yeah.
Right?
No. I mean, we definitely made a difference.
Yeah.
We obviously got a lot of garbage removed from that area, but I also know that as long as the border's open, they're going to keep putting trash there. You know what I mean? As long as the leadership inside Baltimore never changes and they keep electing the same people to office, that trash that we picked up, those 26 tons are going to go right back into the same spots, because these people are trapped in a cycle of Democratic voting. They can't escape. They refuse to escape because the Democrats literally give them everything. They give them the roof over their head. They give them the food that goes on their plate. They give them the cell phones they make their phone calls with. They give them their health care, their education. They give them every single damn thing.
So you have no shot.
That's it.
That's it.
Period. End of story. They will never vote different.
Ever. So if somebody wants to help you out, where can they go?
Yeah, they can go to bordercleanup.com if you like to donate to my relief effort, various relief efforts. It's usually not one thing, man. I'm down to do anything that's going to help something or somebody that I know that I can kind of control, and it's something that it's not too crazy to where it's going to literally have me pulling my hair out of my head, but something that I'm familiar with that I can do. Donate to bordercleanup.com. I have We Fund the Blue. That's my nonprofit that I have with my family. And basically what we do with the money is every cleanup we do, we donate $10,000 to the local police department or sheriff's department in the county or city that we do the cleanup in. So we donated $10,000 to Val Verde County Sheriff. We just donated $10,000 to Mavericks County Sheriff Department. So that was part of the thing that I started with the second cleanup. We never donated anything to Baltimore. I never even thought about it.
And those who donate, do you email like where it went, what you
of
did
course.
with it?
Yeah,
Very
yeah. And
cool,
if you
very
follow,
cool.
yeah, and we make updates on the website. And if you follow us, and you'll get a tax deduction for it as well. We're legit non for profit. So bordercleanup.com. And then obviously, if you're looking for moving services, unless you're a liberal, do not go to my website. Do not call my phone number. If you, I'm serious. I just don't even want to deal with you. Half of them don't even pay. Like you got to chase them down. It's a freaking nightmare. But so stay away from me. Conservatives, let's go.
And your IG?
I'm gonna take care of you. I'm not gonna steal your stuff. I'm not gonna, I'm gonna be maybe a little bit more expensive than some people, but your stuff's gonna get there the right way. I'm gonna tell you the truth, and you know what that little extra that you're paying is going to. You know what I mean? It's going to me doing these things for this country. That's what that little extra that you're like, man, you're a couple $100 higher, maybe a couple $1,000 higher. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, all new, brand new trucks. You know what you're getting with me. I'm not a bullshitter. Your stuff's going to be, when I say it's there, it's there. I'm not going to, steal from you. You're going to have good guys coming.
And I'm not saying this because you're here. It's because I haven't seen it when I was looking at everything. You're the only one I've seen that when you take it off the truck and put it back, you clean it and you put it where the resident wants it if they choose to have you guys do it.
Yeah, man.
And cleaned. I haven't seen any other moving company do that.
Whatever,
put it in.
Whatever they need.
And maybe they carry it in half-ass and put it down, but they leave. You guys clean it.
Yeah, man.
And I think that's big.
We wrap everything with blankets and shrink wrap. We treat everything as if it was ours, man. The guys take pride in their work. You know what I mean? Like the guys that I have working for me have been working for me for a while.
And your YouTube, make sure you shout out your YouTube.
Yeah, and I have a YouTube channel, even though the YouTube likes to give us the business. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, the things that I'm saying and the stuff that I do, YouTube's like, ugh.
Oh.
Like they, but hit that YouTube up if you want to see some of the videos that maybe they'll allow me to post, but most likely not.
And you have Blue Line Moving for Instagram and John Rourke for Instagram.
And John Rourke for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Hit me up on Twitter. I'd love to go, now that Elon's back in charge, President Trump's back on there. Hopefully he tweets. Hopefully his first tweet is Blue Line moving. They're moving me back into the White House. Let's go. That's my guy.
And we'll have all this in the description. And hey, look, if you can donate $1, $2, every dollar counts.
I'm gonna do something with it. You're not donating it to like some big, blue, Red Cross or something where people are making like fucking $200,000 a year or millions of dollars, or $25 million a year. Like, bro, you donate $20. You know what I'm doing.
Oh, real quick, I got to tell you the story. So with Ward, so he was moving money for these governments.
Who was?
Ward. His name's Charlie Ward.
Okay.
He's moved billions and billions and gazillions of dollars for governments, like just an astronomical amount. So he goes to pick up a load, whatever the case may be, goes into the plane to look, and it says Red Cross. Okay? So he's thinking, fuck, the Red Cross is fucking moving money like this? Like, this doesn't look right. So he goes in and he looks at it. He walks out. He goes, look, guys, this one I'm passing on. They pulled him aside. He didn't know if they were, he didn't know what the outcome would be when he said no, and it was a test. They tested him to see if he would take it with the Red Cross on it. Like, if he was dirty enough to take that with the Red Cross, motherfuckers got no heart, no nothing.
Yeah.
And when he saw it, and remember, he was making 1% on every time he moved $1 billion.
Wow.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, man.
But when he saw the Red Cross, he goes, I didn't know if they were going to kill me. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I couldn't do it. And he walked out. They took him in a car he didn't know, And they said that was just a test to see what you would do if you had heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Crazy. But with that being said, donate. All that will be in the description.
Hell yeah, man. Let's go, bro.
And
Let
I
me
want to
help
see you with Chugs next time.
Yeah, bro.
Go get Chugs.
Yeah,
'cause that's
man.
my name for him.
Yeah.
Her. Boy, right?
The little homie.
Little
Chug.
homie. Bring in little homie.
I want to, man.
Go get him.
Yeah, I will. I got to get the fleas and the ticks and the worms out of him first. He covered in those.
Get your girl to do it.
Yeah, she
She'll
is.
do it.
She's over there.
Shout
bro.
out to her, too.
Lori Simmons.
Great job,
An
Lori.
angel, man. She's
They are angels.
dude. Big Dog Ranch Rescue. Shout out to them. Unbelievable job these people do, man. The care that they have for animals, it's crazy, man. That not only that her, but the crew that she brought with her, these people, man, are next level care about animals.
You know,
what I'm saying?
we'll throw them in the description, too. I think they deserve it, too. Check them out, too, as well.
Absolutely.
All right, John. Well, you better be here with the little homie in about a month or two.
Hey, man, who knows what's on the horizon for me, what we're going to do next, but it's going to be good.
All right, buddy, man. Thank you for always. This is your time.
Of course,
I appreciate
man.
it.
Trump 2024. Let's effing go.
Boom.